Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams.
And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, your right, everybody's right. I'm Eli Moon, and we are back in the saddle, on the saddle, saddle adjacent here for your Thursday. Yes, it's Thursday, Friday Eve, folks, edition of Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. So happy you're with us for another evening. Chad even brought out his old school Brownie the Elf shirt. You know, he's usually in all black. He's very business-like. You know, it's like he's taking care of business. You know, an NBA player showing up to like a game 6 on the road, you know, like taking care of business. But tonight he's letting loose. He's in that holiday spirit almost. I don't know what holiday's coming up next, Chad B. We got a little bit of a ways away before the next one. But, you know, he's ready to go. He's loosey-goosey. And we got a lot to talk about here with you. Of course, we're with you till the top of the hour. Daily Spiral with Autumn Chisholm and Chad Bryan returning tonight at 11 p.m. And then Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. He'll be back next week, our program director. And, bro, we miss him very much. We know he's taking care of some things. We are thinking of him, and we can't wait to have him back here rocking with us next week. I'll be filling in again tonight, doing my best to fill the shoes of one AA Anthony Alford. I got some fun things to talk about later on that I will discuss with you. Of course, at the midnight hour, we'll get a little unhinged. How about that? But if you're here for the first time, hello. If you've been here before, welcome back. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. Make ssure you smash that notification bell so you know when we're going live. We have 4 great daily programs for you on Filter with Kyle Cornell, 5 to 6 p.m. weekdays. Now, you may have noticed this week Kyle's on vacation. He's taking a little bit of a break. You know, he did Midnight Run the last few nights. You know, the guys were able to get side hustle under their belt, so you'll see that. But a kind of a mini break for Kyle. You may see a few days off here or there in the future to, you know, repay him for the days he did Midnight Run. But he'll be back 5 to 6 p.m. on Filter next week. Of course, Primetime Chad and I at 10 and 11 with Autumn, the Daily Spiral, and whoever fills in as the co-host that night, Chad, AA, or myself, and then Midnight Run, typically with our bro, our program director, AA Anthony Alford. All right. You know the drill. If you want to read about your favorite personalities, go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Check out about Chad, myself, everybody there who does a great job across the Inside Edge Network. Go to our partners page. Couldn't do without them. There's a lot of great deals there. Of course, you have Fanatics.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, Omega Video Marketing, W Energy, SportsMemorabilia.com, and Mosser Moments. Cannot do without them. Couldn't do without you. So go to the merchandise store, grab a shirt, a hat, a polo, a mug, a windbreaker. Tuck it away. Get it ready. Rep Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. And, Chad, I don't know if the people have heard yet. I think they've heard by now. If you haven't grabbed it, go grab the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Take us wherever you want to go. Chad was out, you know, for softball earlier. You know, you could take us with the softball game. You know, you can go right to the softball game, have Inside Edge Network on. You can go to the grocery store, meet some people at the grocery store. You have Inside Edge Network with you. Wherever you want to go, take us with you. The Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Chad B, looking fresh, funky fresh tonight. How are you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. I pulled this shirt out of the closet, Eli, and I was like, this shirt's pretty old, man. It's almost see-through at this point. Like, it's not even white anymore. It's like it's almost becoming mesh. It's so old, but that's okay. It's my brownie elf shirt. So that's not the original. I mean, it's not like from the 50s. I'm not that old, but it's whatever.
Yeah, you're not living on the allegations of the 1900s.
Yeah, no, my kids know that I lived in the 1900s. So so when I come back on way back Wednesdays, when I come back out of the time machine and I'm in black and white, I feel like that's how my kids see me. To be honest with you, they just see me in like I'm in a top hat with a monocle, and I'm like, "Hey, kids, how you doing?" You know what I mean? Like that's just how they see me now. Whatever. I'll never live that down. I'm doing all right, I guess. Whatever, man.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, no, that. Wow. I don't know how I'm going to top that. I'm glad you're doing well. You got a lot to talk about here tonight. I mean, where to start, right? LeBron's still on the watch. I will talk about that a little bit later on Midnight Run. I know we've kind of talked before the show. Not that we're not enjoying the LeBron talk. Of course, today we found out the news. Voice memos have been introduced to the chat. That teams can send voice memos per Shamsterania.
I want to hear those so bad, Eli. I want to hear them so badly.
Here's the Jazz. Here's the Jazz. Hey, LeBron, it's the Jazz. Please.
There's like music in the background.
Yeah. Can we please? We just need something. We need to spark this franchise.
Please, God, LeBron, please. We'll give you I will give you half owner, 49% ownership, not half, because I want to be the majority owner. But yeah,
it's like goodness gracious, pals. What are you doing? I mean,
could you imagine the one from the Grizzlies? Like, imagine how that would sound.
We know you don't like.
We'll build a brand new hotel. We'll let you can be the project manager. You can do what you can design. You can paint whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it'd be called a LeBrotel.
Yeah, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so we found out about that, and of course, Chad and I could talk about that tonight. But I think we've done a good job if we do say so ourselves, over the last week and a half, discussing, and everybody here across the Inside Edge Network, about the LeBron watch. Again, the new news is the voice memos and these teams sending out that. We had Bob Myers in the front office for the 76ers on the podcast with Rich Paul and Max Kellerman, them talking. And so those are your developments. The big development is the Cupcake Lady in Cleveland. She said that LeBron, Draymond, and Bronny are all coming to Cleveland. So She did call it in 2014 when LeBron was coming back. She may know something, and this is kind of a tease for Midnight Run later on. But, if you're LeBron James, and you're Draymond Green, why are you guys out there playing? I know you're buds, but around this time with all the heat of free agency, you're both free agents. Why are you out golfing?
Yeah, you should be listening to voice memos. What are you doing? Yeah,
I mean, there's teams that need your reply, LeBron. Come on.
Yeah.
So
just leave them on red, man. Like, don't do that.
Makes me think, what's going through the mind of one Draymond Green. We'll talk about that a little bit later on tonight. So Chad and I, we figured, okay, we could talk about that. I'm sure LeBron will sign here soon. We can get into that. Maybe even tomorrow. We might have some breaking news coverage here on the Inside Edge Network. Stay tapped in. If it does break tomorrow, we'll be on the air with you. But we decided to take a little bit of a pivot. The biggest thing going on right now in the world, besides where is LeBron James going, and besides, how many different ways can you shape a honey bun to make it delicious? Can you put it in the microwave? Can you put it in the oven? Can you toast it? I mean, there's a lot of different ways. We talked about the World Cup, and I was talking to Chad before the show tonight, and I said, you know what? It kind of disheartens me a little bit that us as Americans, and not necessarily me and you, Chad, or you and I, but Americans as a whole, a good portion, are going to tune out of the World Cup. We are down to the final 8, technically down to the final 7.
Yeah.
As Morocco went home, France won earlier today, 2-0 or 2-0. Kylian Mbappe with another goal. He's leading the Golden Boot race again. The tiebreaker over Messi because he has more assists. And then Erling Haaland right there with 7. So it's very interesting. But a lot of Americans are tuning out because of the embarrassing 4-1 loss to Belgium, because of the way everything went down. Christian Pulisic's been catching a myriad of strays and straightforward comments, just basically questioning his character, his play as the leader of the Team USA soccer, or football club here in the States. You have a lot going on there, Chad, and it makes me sad because it seems like that's the only buzz going on, and we haven't heard anything about the Final 8, about how there's still 3-4 stars left in this World Cup, if not more. But, when I think of the 4, I think of course, Lionel Messi. You think of Kylian Mbappe. You think of Erling Haaland, Harry Kane from England. You have guys that really stand out as stars. In most of the world, across Europe, or across, different continents, they are stars.
Yeah.
And then you get to the United States, and we don't hear anything really about them. Now, this is not to say, and I'm going to hand it over to you in a second. I have a question for you, though. But, and again, this is not to say, Chad, that we don't understand the greatness of Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo. There are soccer fans here that talk about it. We do have some soccer coverage. We have Major League Soccer here, though we've discussed the faults with that.
Yeah.
But we don't really see these guys come over here as much. And I know there's probably restrictions in terms of their season and when they play and who they play. I get that. But you hear of friendlies, and this is casual soccer fan Eli Moon here talking. But, I'd like to see some more friendlies and some more integration of soccer into the States, whether they are, state-born stars or they're guys from outside of the country that have really made an impact on the way soccer or football is played. And I think that's something we're missing. I think of Kobe Bryant, Chad. I think of when Kobe Bryant went all the time overseas, and especially, China and spending time in Asia and doing a lot of work to build the game. And I'm not saying he created, guys that were already there like Yao Ming and such, but you think of how much of an impact Kobe Bryant had on some of the future, Asian basketball players and people that just want to go out and be an athlete, have that Mamba mentality that transcended basketball. It was just across all sports. It's a mentality. Yeah. So you think about that, and it's like, why haven't we seen that with soccer? Why isn't Kylian Mbappe or Erling Haaland playing a random spring or summer game in Los Angeles and we can tune in nationally and there's buzz being drawn to it? We talk all the time about why soccer isn't popular, why it's kind of given the back burner here in the States. But I feel like us not appreciating here in the States, the stars, despite them not being from America, is one of the biggest problems. I mean, am I tripping here, my friend, or what do you think?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure what your question was, to be honest with you, but I don't think you're tripping. That's it. No, you're fine. No, I think it's just it's a lot. I mean, there's just a lot to unpack in there, and I'm thinking back to even like something that you said that Kobe didn't make Yao Ming. Rumor is Yao Ming was only like 6'2" until he heard about Kobe, and then he skyrocketed.
Yeah.
No. But I just think about like how big of an international superstar Michael Jordan was, right? And some of that was being packaged up with Nike, and it was the 90s. That's where the S came from. It was the 1900s, Eli. It was the late 1900s, the mid to high 1900s, if we're keeping it weather friendly. Yeah. But no, it was a different time, and even Kobe, the beginning of Kobe's career was like before the really like the onslaught of social media and everything being on the internet, everything streaming. And I think there was like a little bit of like this air of mystery, right? So I think a lot of folks in other countries were they wanted to tune in and they had to try to get that packaged up any way they could, right? So I don't know what NBA basketball looked like in China in the 90s. I have no idea. I don't know how it was presented. I don't know what how available games were. I assume you weren't watching them live because there was a huge time difference. It would be a little awkward. So that's some of the challenges that we deal with here, because I was just thinking, like, if you ever want to watch like European soccer, right, during the season, you wake up and it's like Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on FS1. There's a game, and like, who's waking up on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. and watching FS1? Like, diehard soccer fans are, but that's not packaged so that like the casual fan catches it. Like I just and it's nothing personal to soccer. It's not a shot at soccer or soccer player or anything. It's just I'm not rolling by FS1 on Saturday morning at 7 a.m., especially with kids in the house. Like, it's very rare for that for me to happen upon that, right? Whereas like back in the day, you think about how and I'm just going to use baseball as an example. I became a Braves fan because a friend of mine was a Braves fan, and they were on TBS, and he was like, "Hey, this is great, man. Look, here's this team. They're garbage." I mean, it was the late 80s, and they were really bad. But they're on TBS. They're on this station that you can get with basic cable, and they're on here every night, man. You could watch the Braves 155 times a year on TBS. I mean, it was almost every single game. Yeah. So you would come home every night, and there was a game on the Superstation, and All in the Family and whatever, Mom, whatever, and then the Braves, and then something after that. But I still like have some of those commercials. They're seared into my memory forever, because that was my formative years, right? Those were my formative years, and that's how I grew up. I grew up with Skip Carey, Don Sutton, Joe Simpson, whatever. I grew up with those guys. That whole broadcast crew was like a second family to me. I can still hear their voices. I'll always be able to hear their voices. When I hear their voices on old, I'm like, I instantly know, like, Okay, that Skip and Don were in the whatever that means, whatever Ernie and whoever was on the radio at that time. Like I remember like the road. I remember that stuff. It was so easy to stumble onto. The Cubs were on WGN. The White Sox to a lesser degree were there. If you lived local, you could watch the Reds, a little bit. I couldn't watch the Reds as much as I could watch the Braves, which is a crazy thing. I was only about 55 minutes, maybe an hour from Cincinnati, but the Braves were on every night. And you could stumble onto baseball and you could find it, I don't think soccer's like that right now. It's almost like you have to grow up playing it, which we have talked about can be very exclusive. If you're going to get into the point where you're that into a sport and you're trying to play travel soccer and, club league, whatever, we're talking sometimes, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a season, which is insane to me. That it can cost this much for and then you've got soccer cleats that are $150, $200, right?
And that's on top of tuition, mind you. With high schoolers and things like that. We were talking off air, about how it was about $8 to $10,000, if not more, for me to go to high school. And, and that's not even factoring in athletic costs. So you're basically paying a college price. You're paying 8 years of college price. They're just masking it as high school in a deeper education. That's a different story for probably a different show.
Oh yeah, for sure. This sounds like an unfiltered topic, to be honest with you. But it sounds like something Kyle would talk about, and then that's great to bring awareness to things like that. But I just think soccer's just not as easily digestible for us here. Because we don't recognize the names. The casual fan doesn't go, "Oh, Mbappe, okay, cool." Like that's he's a whatever star. I don't even know where he plays. Like leagues. I don't even know.
That's to your point though, the accessibility. And I'm not saying they have to be live. Like I understand that sometimes they're in the early mornings. But I'll use WWE as an example. I know you're not the biggest pro wrestling guy. We're trying to teach you. And we're working on it, slow steps. But we
old dog
see
new
with,
tricks.
Yes, we see with WWE. For example, Chad, they're in Saudi Arabia or overseas a lot of times. Now with a lot of their pay-per-views, and sometimes what's that come with? A time switch, or a different time to watch the pay-per-view. You're watching a 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 in the morning. There's been a 6 in the morning pay-per-view. And sure you may not catch it live, but it's accessible. You can go see it. It's broadcasted. And I think that's just on soccer. That's on, the streaming companies and cable companies. It falls onto, the greed we've discussed in terms of everything's on streaming. Everything's on Peacock, or it's on Amazon Prime TV or this or, whatever. There's so much going on that it does make, to your point, it inaccessible, which makes it harder to watch. I think even if you can get a replay, like, hey, you can't watch it live, but here's Mbappe's game from earlier today, a real big game, overseas. That'd be cool to watch, and I think that would excite some people here in the States. We want to talk about how does soccer become so much more, popular? How do we get these stars? Yes, one, they start playing it. How do they start playing it? Besides just stumbling across it and saying, I like this, you got to see somebody that influences you, motivates you. When I played baseball, I modeled my game off of Jim Thome, because he was my favorite player. That was somebody who I wanted to be like. Boom, I'm going to go play baseball. When you watch soccer, even if they're not from the States, somebody goes and watches Erling Haaland from Norway. They watch Mbappe from France, Messi. You watch some of these guys, Harry Kane, who's still in the tournament for England. They play tomorrow in a few days, Norway and England. That's what it is, Chad. And I'm not saying, and I get your point, you may not be able to watch it live when it happens, react in real time at 6 in the morning. But I'd like it to be an accessible thing at 11 in the morning, noon, here in the States, so you could watch it and at least get familiar. We get talked about all the time how we don't know about it, because a lot of times it's at a time where we don't even know what's going on. It's like a foreign concept where the NFL now is becoming more inclusive. The NBA has become, over the last couple of decades, inclusive. When the games are on, they're letting it be known.
And think about, too, I don't mean to interrupt you, but think about what we watch most, right? NFL, college football. They're right there on the weekend, right? And they're all day. You've got, and I get it. There's Monday night games. Yeah, there's Thursday night games. Sure, that's fine. But with the NFL, you've got Sunday. It starts at 1. And now with the international games, it starts earlier than that, right? You can catch a game. You can catch a kickoff at 9 a.m. most of the season. So you wake up and you've got football all day. You know what day it's on. It's right there. It's packaged. It's on the main networks, right? And college football is the same way.
Right.
Until, whoever your streaming, whatever provider is, and Disney get into a fight. And you missed the first 4 weeks of the season. Thanks, because, it's clearly not about greed.
Those were just warm-up games.
Unbelievable. Anyway, I missed a lot of college football last season and the season before and the season, whatever. But they're there. They're on Saturdays, right? So it's like it's a thing. It becomes like this mecca. It's like, okay, I have the day off. I don't work Saturdays. I'm sitting around all day. I'm watching college football, or I'm watching NFL on Sundays. And you may not be able to catch the Thursday night game. Maybe you got to get up early and go to work on Friday. But for the most part, you're able to see most of the league play on Sunday. If you want to pay for the NFL, whatever it is, I don't even know what it's called. Clearly, I don't have it. But if you want to pay for that, you can, and you can watch the entire league. You can watch the whole league play on Sunday.
League Pass.
Sure, there you go. And if it was soccer, it'd be La Liga Pass. But
yes.
I don't know, maybe there's a copyright issue there. I don't know.
We'll find out about it 30 seconds.
Exactly. Right. And we're done. No, but you can watch that. You can watch college football. You can watch all the main games. They're all there from basically Saturday at noon. And yeah, there's some Thursday night, there's stuff, there's Friday night games, whatever. But all the big games are going to be Saturday at noon until Saturday at, there's 10, 11, sometimes, a little bit later kickoffs or whatever.
Yeah.
I really miss the Pac-10, Pac-12 stuff at night, like the late 1 a.m. kickoffs. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, but whatever. Now there's two teams.
College football doesn't like your fun.
No, they don't like it. And pretty soon all of this stuff is going to be packaged into streaming, and then none of it's going to be popular, Eli. And it will, but it won't be the same. You won't have, I can remember waking up and watching the Buckeyes on a Saturday as a kid and just being like, wow, like this is crazy. I can just watch this. This is on. Or watching, Nebraska play Miami back in the day, and it was just on. It was on like the major networks, and it was accessible. Right. Where I don't ever remember waking up and seeing soccer on as a kid. I just never saw soccer on my TV. It's not that I wouldn't have watched it; just wasn't there.
Right, so, and that's the biggest problem. Is that here's the thing: is like Americans as a whole, we can't have our cake and eat it too. We can't have both. We can't say we want to be better at the World Cup and these big tournaments when it's time to play against the world, and then say, but we just. That's it.
Shun the sport a little bit.
We'll see it when we see it. Well, then you can't be mad at the results. Then the results are because of the preparation and the actual GAF, for a lack of a better word, that you put into it. And that's, if you don't know those, you can look it up on your own time and figure out what that means. But I think you catch my drift. So that's what we got to look into. And another thing, and I know we got to go to break here. You're crazy. You brought up Ohio State. Think about this too. The packages and the streaming, and all this and the channels is the reason why Ohio State rarely gets a night game anymore.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. One of the best teams typically in college football, and I say typically because there is 1 or 2 down years in the 10, 15-year stretch, but think about that. They play at noon every Saturday. One of your best teams.
Kickoff on Fox. Big noon kickoff. Big noon Saturday. It's unbelievable. It's just.
You would think, it's like, and my brother's there at Ohio State right now. So it's like, and he's not the biggest sports guy per se, but he's been wanting to go to some Ohio State games. It's like, well, hopefully you're available at noon on a Saturday because you're not going to get to go plan your day around tailgating and having a good time. It's just takes away from the experience and from one of the best teams in college football. So, we could have a further discussion about this, I think, down the road, Chad, because it is getting a mess, in terms of streaming. And that'll kind of come up later on tonight for me as well on Midnight Run. When it comes to Major League Baseball and what they got coming up. They got their All-Star break coming up here next week, early next week, home run derby, all that jazz. And they also have a lockout impending, it seems like, here by the end of the year. So we'll talk about all that, Chad. But we got much more to talk about right here with you guys on Inside Edge Primetime. We're going to talk about those Cleveland Browns. Yes, I know it can cause everybody to turn gray or, white hairs, whatever hairs your hairs turn. Not up for us to decide. But what we will decide is what makes a good Cleveland Browns season, a successful Cleveland Browns season. Even if they don't win the division, they don't win 8, 9, 10 games, what can be successful here in Cleveland for the Browns as they move towards their new era under Todd Monken, under this kind of fresh feel of sorts. And there's a little bit of a stench still in the quarterback room. I can't really figure out what it is, but maybe we'll figure it out after the break. This is Chad Bryan to my right, you're right, everybody's right. I'm Eli Moon. This is Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. And we're back right after this.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order W Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. W Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Chad Bryan to my right, your right, everybody's right. Yes, sir. And I'm Eli Moon. We're back in the saddle on the saddle. Jason here on your Thursday. I am having a rough hair day, Chad B, and I need a haircut. I'm going to go out to O'Hooligans Ink and Barbershop and get my hair cut, I think, in the next week or so. Go see my guys. They get cleaned up. You should do the same if you don't have a barber. I know you're all taken care of over there, Chad B. So I know you're all sharp dressed, ready to rock. But I'm just saying, I had to get it off my chest here on this Thursday. I was looking at my hair before we came back from break. I said, geez, almighty, buddy. And my mom said something today. You know, when mom says something, then you're in trouble. So she said, hey, that beard's getting a little long there, son. I said, okay, I got you. So
better take care of that.
Go get that taken care of. What you need to take care of if you're there at the house or wherever you're at on the go is going and subscribing, following at Inside Edge Net on all of the socials, whether that's YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, wherever it may be. Go hit that notification bell, know when we're going live. 4 great daily shows for you, all Monday through Friday, all week long, and great weekly programming as well. Real Talk with Pop Moon Saturdays at 5 p.m. Of course, we have Voice of the Land. That was earlier tonight at around 6:05 p.m. That is Kevin Arnold and Ryan Mosser, and the guys taking care of business there. We have Main Event on Sundays, AA, Anthony Alford, myself, and Rob Rizicki. Again, programming reminder, AA will be back this Sunday. I will be out on vacation starting Sunday, so you'll get Rob and AA and get their duo this Sunday. And then, of course, I'll be back the following Sunday to resume back here with the Inside Edge Network. Going to take a little vacay. All right. Vacay. Download the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Make all the bird noises you like. Just make sure you get us on Roku. Take us wherever you want to go. Baseball practice, to the restaurant, to a wedding, to a divorce hearing possibly. Wherever you want to go, take us with you on Roku. And, of course, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go read about your favorite personalities like Chad Bryan and myself. And everybody does a great job here across the Inside Edge Network. Go check out our partners page. Couldn't do without them. And go to the merchandise store. Grass and the Nice. Rep Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. All right, Chad B. It's fitting that you wore Brownie the Elf. You must have knew what was going on tonight.
Well, it's crazy. I never know what we're going to talk about. It's always just, by the seat of our pants. We never plan anything. So
we flip a quarter. We're like, here's 10 topics we have tonight. No,
and go.
So the Cleveland Browns, obviously, if you've been living under a rock, and I know you haven't, bud, but we're just gonna prep the masses here. If you've been living under a rock, they've not been good. A rock?
That's probably for the Daily Spiral. Yeah,
throw up the X. Okay. If you've been living under a rock, let's try that one again. The Cleveland Browns didn't play very well last season, right? They went 5-12.
Yep.
They finished 4th in the AFC North. Kind of seems like
out of how many teams again? Out of how many teams?
That'd be 4 teams in the AFC North.
4 teams. That's right.
Yes. It sounds better when you say they finished 4th.
Yeah, don't say last.
They have not done well for a majority of the 2020s. Have had two playoff appearances, but one in 2020 in really a different era, different quarterback, different feel, and now one with Joe Flacco in that run, but haven't had much success. The Browns have a few questions, or maybe a little bit more than a few questions they have to answer this upcoming season. And Chad, I know we're not rocket scientists, but we've done the math. I don't think there's a way, there's always a way, but a probable, logical way to get to 8, 9, 10 wins this year. And if they do, then we're having different discussions on Sundays, here on the Inside Edge Network. We're high-fiving and having a great time. But
we'd love that. We don't want to be cynical. We'd love that. We'd love to see that. Yeah.
Yes, but there's some things I got to answer, obviously. There's a few things, we've gone over the last 2, 3, 4, or 5 months now. Really since Browns talk heated up again, which is funny, folks, because, they played a season and then it heated up after the season because, everybody was ready to get Stefanski out of town and, move on for whatever this is at quarterback and figure out what's going on. And those are some of the questions we have nowadays. Is Todd Monken going to be able to usher this team into a successful new era? What's going on in the quarterback room? We'll discuss a little bit later maybe about that. And just some other things with the offense, with the defense, no Myles Garrett, a lot of things to get into, Chad B.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you, and we put together a list together here. We have 3 reasons, 3 strong points that would make the Browns a successful season in 2026.
Yeah.
Even if they don't win the division, even if they only win, 6 games, 7 games at max, this would make it a successful season. We have 3 reasons. I think we feel pretty good about all 3 of them. I'll hand it off to you. What's reason number 1, you would say, the Browns would be successful taking the record out of it in 2026?
Okay, so like we said, forget the record. I know that's going to be hard for people to shed that thought because you want your favorite football team to win, right? You want to go 13-4, 14-3, whatever, and go to the Super Bowl. That's likely not going to happen. So forget the records, forget the results. And the Browns have some winnable games on this schedule. Let's be clear. They don't have a tough schedule at all, right? Well, I mean, they're NFL teams. In that regard, they're tough. But, it's not the Bears' schedule, right? Yes. So the Browns have some winnable games. But I think the most important thing that they need to do this year, and the reason that you could feel good about maybe another 5-12 type of season, we'll know a little more about the future of the quarterback position, right? Deshaun Watson is not the quarterback of the future. That's not happening. It's not gonna happen. So I think that in that light, the best thing that we could see is to find out really what we have in Shedeur Sanders. I think we saw, maybe we didn't see enough of Dylan Gabriel, but it feels like we did. There were times where he couldn't throw the ball more than 11 or 12 yards down the field. That's not going to cut it in the NFL. I know a lot of people go, well, but he had the same. It wasn't the same. So listen, the offensive line has been revamped. We don't know if they're going to be any good or not, but you would think that theoretically a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders would have a little bit more time in the pocket to think and react and play. So this season is about finding out what you've got for the future at quarterback. And if Sanders doesn't show the progress that you want him to show or the development that you need him to show, really not want him to show, you need him to show, then you know that that's what you're looking at in next year's draft, right? You know where to go. Best case scenario is maybe he doesn't play well at first and they still have a bad year, still go 5-12, 6-11, but he starts to come on at the end of the season. He has a couple of 400-yard games, 3-4 touchdowns. The ball's coming out a little more crisply, maybe a bit quicker. And you're like, okay, look, I mean, you can see the progress, right? You can watch his development. He's starting to get it now. But I think the important thing is that you come out of this season knowing basically what you have and what you don't have in that quarterback room, so that with one of these, presumably early picks in next year's draft, you can go address that position. I think that's one of the best takeaways, that even if the Browns don't win a ton of games, I think you can feel good about knowing what you've got at the quarterback position and where you need to go for the future, what you need to look for. Um, to me, that's priority number one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a home run there. I don't disagree with you at all, whether it is Shedeur Sanders or they start looking towards the 2027 draft class. I think those are your top two options for the Browns right now. I just don't see a world with Deshaun Watson. I don't see a world with Dylan Gabriel. So, I think there's only a few options you look if you're the Browns here, and they're thinking reasonably. So we'll see there, but it leads me to point number 2 here, pal. Every great, or at least very good quarterback has needed some sort of insurance, some safety blanket, whether it is a possession wide receiver or it's that tight end that you can go to. Patrick Mahomes has Travis Kelce. Back in the day, Phillip Rivers had Antonio Gates. You think of even the Chiefs, and they had Trent Green there for a little bit. Who did he have? Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
You have all these guys that have been insurance blankets, safety blankets, insurance weapons for the quarterback. And that's what we hope to see out of Harold Fannin, second-year pro out of Bowling Green State University, tight end for the Cleveland Browns. He was able to take away the starting role from David Njoku, who's now playing elsewhere. We wish the Chief the best, obviously, but Fannin seems to be the future here in Cleveland, and he seems, in my opinion, and this is no disrespect to David Njoku, just a little more promising. Reminder, Njoku has switched, if I'm not mistaken, from basketball over to football, had not played a lot of college ball before going into the NFL. So it was a big switch for him. For Harold Fannin, he's been playing football. He has been consistently one of the best at his position in college even, getting recognized at Bowling Green State University and AA smiling somewhere. And now, of course, here as a Cleveland Brown. Last year, 72 catches, 731 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. He played in all 16 games. But again, reminder, he really started wrestling away that starting role later on in the year where it wasn't as split. He started in 13 of the games, but really started to come on at the end of the year. Missed the last game of the year due to injury. But somebody that I believe the Browns could really rely on, Chad, while we see what happens with Casey Concepcion, and is he going to be able to be a guy that can hang onto the football and make it happen when he gets into space? Is Denzel Boston going to be that alpha where he goes out there and grabs the ball at the high point, brings in some touchdowns? While we're waiting for that to happen, and hopefully that happens quickly, you see that development, we want to see Harold Fannin run right out of the gates, have a great year, be in that discussion. Point number 2 is Harold Fannin taking that next step and being in the top 5 tight end discussion. Travis Kelce's getting older. George Kittle's getting a little older. Not saying they fall out of the rankings, but the young guns are starting to take over. The next wave, just like when Kittle and Kelce took over. this is the next wave, and you expect Harold Fannin to be in that discussion. So point number 2, the Brown season can be successful in 2026 if Harold Fannin takes the next step into top 5 tight end discussion. I think he can.
Yeah, you'd love to hear him mentioned with the likes of Brock Bowers and some of these younger guys that have come up in the last couple of years. And Bowers was certainly headed that way. I mean, he had some injury issues in Las Vegas or whatever, and just quarterback issues there. Not a very good team, but you would think that now with Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza on the way, likely Bowers will. I mean, he's going to see his numbers go up there. So. Yeah, you would love to see Harold Fannin Jr. mentioned in that same ilk with guys like Bowers and just, again, some of the younger class of tight ends that are, and it's funny that you said, running out of the gates. Antonio Gates, right? Like, it's just maybe that was a Freudian slip by you, right? That maybe he'll have an Antonio Gates-like career. That'd be great. We'd be very happy with that here.
Sure
but, yeah, we would just like to see someone step up and take ownership of some position on the offensive side of the ball. That's, you need great offensive linemen, but we'd really like to see some skill players come up and, just be the guy, right? We've always got a lot of promise on the roster. I saw I don't know, the post from like a week ago or so, about a week ago. They said, the Dolphins have the worst roster in the NFL and the Browns have the second worst. And I just don't think that's true. Like, I know the results haven't been there, but I feel like the Browns have plenty of talent. They just have struggled putting it together, right? And getting it all moving in the same direction at the same time. So yeah, you'd like to see one of these guys, whether it's, Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, someone step up and kind of secure that wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 role, or the slot receiver, whatever, and just start to put pieces in place so that you can move forward and start to build on the offensive side of the ball instead of every year going, okay, it's back to the drawing board because, we've got this guy dropping 13 passes and this guy can't catch, and this tight end forgot how to block. We can't even put him out there on, he's not even a decoy anymore. We just can't use him. He can't catch. He can't block. I mean, whatever. We just keep running into those kind of issues on offense. And you got to put a stop to that. Like, someone's got to step up and just take ownership of some of these roles and be the tight end 1, the wide receiver 1, and show you that you can build around, not necessarily around them, like they're the focal piece, but you just got to be able to build with them going forward. And we need some positions to be set in stone to move forward. Otherwise, again, every year it's just back to the drawing board, and you can't move forward like that. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. Number 3, Chad was very ready for number 2. He was about to tear somebody to shreds over the receiver.
I didn't wear the see-through brownie elf shirt for nothing, man. I'm ready to go. All right.
No, you're good. No, I appreciate it. That's what we need. The excitement, and I'm with you. Yes, the receivers, the tight ends, you expect, obviously, Fannin, Boston, Concepcion, all those guys. The number 3 for us, we kind of came to, an agreement here is just defensively, can this defense stay top 10? They were top 10 last year. They had, obviously, their faults. People are so upset over the, last-minute touchdowns they would give up and things of that nature. I get it. Yeah. But overall, it was a top 10 defense, a defense that with a better offense, we're probably having a different discussion about what they looked like last year. We're not having many close calls where they're having to stop a 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter because the game's out of reach because the offense has done their job. So Chad and I would hope that, hey, this defense could stay top 10, under the new leadership. No Myles Garrett, Carson Schwessinger, Denzel Ward being the leaders on this team, Mason Graham going to step up. What does this team look like defensively? Can they get some stops? Can they keep the offense in games if the offense struggles? If it's 10-7, hopefully we're the 10 and the other team's the 7. That's your biggest hope, Chad. But, I think that's a big thing, too, as well. Are they going to be able to stop Myles Garrett? Are they going to be able to stop the monsoon, the effect that everybody's worried could happen after Myles Garrett leaves, where the defense falls apart? Can they avoid that and stay together, kind of surprise people this year?
Yeah, they've got to be able to prove that they can survive life without Myles Garrett on the edge, right? Or in the middle, wherever, just on the field, really. But yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing. And you've got some young talent there. I mean, we've talked about the last couple of drafts have been good. They've added some pretty good defensive players. But yeah, there's really, I don't have any notes for the defense right now. We'll see what they look like. Obviously there's going to be a difference from, last year to this year without Myles Garrett and, changing coordinators and things like that. Right. It'll be the same basic system, but there'll be some new wrinkles and things. And you just hope that they can go out there and again, if they can stay top 10, you just elevate the offense to the point where they're middle of the pack. You've probably, you're looking at a playoff team most likely. Right. You're not going to go 15-2 like that, maybe, but you're looking at a team that can win 10 or 11 games and compete for a playoff spot, a wild card spot. Maybe can't even win the division, but it's just better, right? Better results if you can move the football and score. I've heard that those things are very important in football. I get it. You want to have a great defense, but you have to score too.
And you heard it here first, folks, as we go to break. Chad Bryan said, get your playoff tickets, get your division championship shirt.
I said, don't come to me when you need playoff ticket. Yeah, don't come to me.
11 wins. Yeah, you heard it from right here from Chad B's mouth.
Your all personality. Full predictions. Yeah, just let by play.
All jokes aside, but obviously, that's what we wanted to just give you a few things as Browns fans. We've been hearing. I'm sure if you turn on the radio anywhere else, you go read a magazine. I don't know if you read a magazine anymore, but if you read an article online or whatever, and you're just probably seeing a lot of doom and gloom about this Browns team, we wanted tonight just provide some reasons why you should look forward to some things when it comes to this Cleveland Browns roster, this new era they're kind of trying to build into, and why there is some optimism. I'm not going to say they're going to win 15 games, but the games haven't played yet. Let's see what happens.
Maybe over the next 3 seasons. Yeah,
we'll see what happens. All right, Chebby and I are going to take a quick pause here. When we come back, we're going to get in the comments. It's been crazy out there. It is a dangerous game for people that live in the comments, and Chad B's been living in them here the last couple hours. We'll get after that here on Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. When we come back, stay with us.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's Fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. Goodness gracious. Champion, am I right? You're right. Everybody's right. I'm Eli Moon. If only you out there understood what I go through during the breaks with one Chad Bryan. Buddy, autocorrect is either your worst enemy or your best friend. There's no in between.
No, there's really no middle ground. Ooh, all right.
Okay, all right. Wow. All right, we're back. All right, and scene. All right, welcome back to Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. We'll try to get it together here for the final few minutes. Chad Bryan to my right, you're right, everybody's right. I'm Eli Moon. The Daily Spiral with Autumn Chisholm and Chad Bryan at the top of the hour. And then Midnight Run with Anthony Alford, our program director and bro. He's on vacation, taking care of some things.
Yeah.
Again, we wish him well. He'll be back next week, starting Sunday with a main event with Rob. And then, for now, Thursday and Friday, I'll be filling in for AA and be talking about a bunch of stuff. That was a wild way to get there, but we got there. Make sure you get to Inside Edge Net. Like, subscribe, follow at Inside Edge Net on all the socials if you haven't done so yet. Whether that's YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, all of that. Make sure you smash that notification bell, Inside Edge Net. Go to InsideEdgeNetwork.com, read about your favorite personalities. Go check out our partners page. A lot of great deals over there. And go to the merchandise store, get something nice. Rep Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. And take us with Roku, the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Download it. Take us wherever you'd like to go. Wherever you are, we'll be with you.
There's some places we don't want to go, to be fair. But it's okay. It's okay because we won't really know about it. So just take it, but just don't tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think that's fair. That's
fair. You know what else is fair? We got a few minutes left here, pal, before the Daily Spiral, and you get absolutely taken to school by Autumn for an hour.
Yes. I'll try to avoid the quiz again if I can.
I'll try. I'll see what I can do.
Right.
She's not here yet, so we'll see what we can do.
If she starts asking me questions, just put up a commercial, man. Just, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I got you. I'll pop on the screen and be like, he defers.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to his lawyer yet?
I'll act like, I'll tell you what, my chair's about to break. That's probably going to happen live. Maybe I can just break my chair. It's close.
Autumn will continue asking you questions.
Yeah, I'll just go on the ground like, so sincere? It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, Chad, let's dive in the comments.
Let's do it. I'm just going to put it up here and we're going to start the music because I like the music. It's fun. So it's Thursday nights, random. Sometimes we do this on Fridays. Sometimes we do it on Thursdays, whatever. We're going to go.
Yeah, we make the rules here.
In the it's our show. Dang it. So this is these comments are all taken beautifully from one post. And that post was about a certain meteorologist her posts keep coming up on my Facebook, and she posted about receiving a sewing kit, like a cross stitch kit.
Okay.
It was raccoon based in nature. She likes raccoons. So these were some of the comments from her, being, I guess, overjoyed to receive this raccoon cross stitch kit in the mail. Let's just go in the comments. Right. So this person says, congratulations on being able to find your masculine and feminine and being able to work in the light and dark. Wish more people could be like you. And 10 people agreed with this. And I have no idea what this has to do with raccoon cross-stitch kits.
Congratulations.
They're going to make less and less sense as we go on. So just buckle up.
Congratulations on being...
Hey, you got to be able to play both sides. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing
people could be like you, Chad Bryan. Go ahead.
Hey, so this is one of my personal favorites. As I said, they're going to make less and less sense as we go on. So just...
We love that.
I don't know what to tell you. This person says, very nice. Now, complete change of subject. It's Lie Like Hell Wednesday, in all caps. The day for everyone to just relax and be themselves because Think Thursday is looming. And today is a Think Thursday, so I thought that was very appropriate to put it up. I don't know what any of this means, Eli. I don't know what any of this means.
Sounds like a country song. Lie like hell.
Lie like hell Wednesday.
I'm a lie like hell when I'm sitting here on this truck.
Sounds like a song I would not listen to.
I can say that. I have family in Tennessee, so that's like I can say that. I can make fun of the hillbilly nature because
I've been to Tennessee twice.
That doesn't count. No.
That doesn't count. Okay,
no.
all right.
But I'm a lie like hell Wednesday.
Well, I didn't stay to comfort into Memphis because LeBron said don't do that. So.
Yeah, don't do that. But Think Thursday sounds very. I don't want to think Thursday.
No. Thursday is almost the end of the week. I'm the only thing I'm thinking about on Thursday is Saturday. I'm getting to the weekend. That's it.
Donuts.
Well, maybe donuts. I can think about donuts. I like donuts. Donuts make me jump for joy. Much like this next comment will make you jump for joy. Your antics makes jump for joy. Rhymes things you appreciate. What am I can't even say it. Rhymes things you appreciate. Will be ready next ones. 6 people like this comment, Eli. What? That's from a top fan.
I wonder sometimes when we do this if I can apply for like medical insurance, if I can get some help because I'm reading some of these and my brain is just hurting.
Yeah.
Your antics makes jump for joy. Rhymes things you appreciate.
Yeah.
We'll be ready next ones. It sounds like Yoda's having a stroke.
I don't know. I pulled a muscle in my frontal lobe. I don't know what this means. But as I said, buckle up because they get worse. Okay.
Dude.
Are you ready for this one? Again, these are comments on a meteorologist sharing a box that she received in the mail with a raccoon-themed cross-stitch kit.
Okay. All right.
First of all, that's okay. Whatever. Doesn't matter. All right. This one. Not so. Now, we all loved Betty Davis or Real Cinema. Camera emoji, star emoji. But there was maybe something in the eyes. Even made a wonderful song. She's got Betty Davis eyes. Well, at least not in that way. Thumbs up emoji, 100 emoji, star emoji, explosion, fire, heart eyes. And then don't forget the sticker. You up?
This sticker's awesome.
You up?
I can't lie. Dude, what's wrong with Betty Davis's eyes?
I don't know. All the boys thought she was a spy, Eli.
But Betty Davis, so is this a dig at Betty Davis, or is she saying that the original poster doesn't look like Betty Davis?
I have no idea. I don't know.
What in that
Betty
way?
Davis had beautiful eyes, didn't she? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, at least not in that way.
Not in
Thumbs
that
up,
way.
100%
Yeah, not in that
emoji.
She was a real cinema, though.
All right, back to you, Chad. What else we got?
Okay, now I understand that this next one is in another language. I'm going to give it a shot.
Dude.
I'm going to give it a shot, okay?
Okay.
Stop.
Stop.
Coke. Deutunien Nuok Nugua. Oh, but wait, Eli. We can translate it. It's fine. It'll make more sense when we see the translation, right?
Well, I mean, the horse in the water, it's got to be.
Yeah,
Okay.
This is going to make perfect sense.
Okay.
When we talk about this raccoon-based cross-stitch kit, right? This is going to make sense when we get there. Let's just translate it. Toad, the natural thing. Water emoji. Horse emoji. That's the worst haiku I've ever heard in my life.
Maybe they just forgot the end of the poem. Like, 'cause it could be like toad, the natural thing. Water, horse, water. Or like toad, the natural thing.
Yeah, good luck.
Water, horse, leaves.
Eli, you're going to have a stroke. Stop. You're going to lose the...
I got it. Just stop. Just give me. I got it this time.
All right.
Toad, the natural thing. Water, horse, leaves. What a wonder nature brings. God damn it.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
No, that's not what? No, that can't. Nope. Sorry. I don't know any of these comments.
Big Mario Kart fan here. Toad.
Toad. The natural thing. Where is Yoshi? Is he winning again?
Water, horse, leaves.
Water.
What does nature bring?
Horse.
I'm telling you, I got something there.
How do you think my reading was, by the way? You think I was close?
I mean, yeah, buddy,
Curious
you
about
were
that.
close.
Anyway, that was in the comments.
You
I'm
were
gonna
close.
not put that up. I tried to bring it
You
back.
were close.
That's a great way to end the show, honestly. I'm just going to keep this music going through the Daily Spiral, if that's okay. I think that'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Just keep it rolling.
Why did you say no?
Just
It's not okay.
Just keep it rolling. Perfect. All right.
Oh, then.
Goodness gracious, Chad B. My brain hurts.
My brain always hurts, but that was in the comments. You never know. It's always fun. It's always something. I don't know.
Toad, the natural thing.
thing.
Papa Moon said, yes, very close.
Very
Chad B.
close. I thought so.
You were
thought
very
so.
close to nailing that, you know.
Yeah.
And if
I think I
anybody,
can now officially say that I speak 4 languages.
yeah,
Right?
speaking them fluently and well, 2 different things. You
Oh,
spoke a
it was-
language for sure.
Okay. Well,
Spoke
okay. I know
language.
some words in like 4 languages then.
I'm learning
I feel
Spanish.
like I'm almost fluent in English. I'm close.
You are. Sometimes words are hard for you. Sometimes
Yeah,
words are hard for
yeah,
you.
of course.
All right. Yeah, rents do. All right.
There we
That's
go.
going to do it for Inside Edge Primetime here on the Inside Edge Network. That's Chad Bryan to my right, your right, everybody's right. I'm Eli Moon. I'll be back with you at midnight for Midnight Run. Filling in for AA Anthony Alford. We'll talk a lot. We talked about LeBron. We'll talk a little bit more about who might be the ultimate catalyst in bringing LeBron here or wherever he goes. We'll talk about the MLB All-Star Break. Pretty important one for the MLB All-Star Break. And later on in the show at midnight, of course, in the next hour,
Yeah.
we will discuss, well, the hour after 11. It's not 11 yet, folks. But at the midnight hour, we'll also discuss, a variety of things when it comes to not only this baseball stuff and not only LeBron, but just kind of overall the feeling of streaming services and everything in the sports landscape right now. So we'll talk about that and a whole lot more. And I'll give you 2 new teams for the Super Bowl here in the NFL this upcoming season. It won't be Patriots Seahawks. I think we'll have 2 new teams. All right, that's going to do it. I'm getting queued out of here. Autumn Chisholm coming here, and she's queuing me, which is hilarious considering she overruns in the midnight run for 15 to 20 minutes every night. That's going to do it for Inside Edge Primetime. The Daily Spiral coming up right after station identification.
Hi, Chad.
Hey, Autumn, how are you?
No, I'm not having a good day. I'm gonna just let you know right now. My dog is fine, guys. My dog is fine. He is fine. He pooped it out.
Nice.
It's fine.
Yes. Who does number 2 work for? All right. That's what I'm talking about.
That's not why I'm mad though.
No.
I've had a day. Welcome to the Daily Spiral. If you don't know, we are here every night at 11 o'clock. I posted a TikTok. I can't play it on air because I said a lot of explicit things. Okay. Somebody stole my DoorDash today.
Oh, what?
But not at my job. Like, not like, you know how like sometimes they'll leave it in a place and then you'll be like, why did you leave it there? No. Somebody was in the restaurant, went in the restaurant. My food was ready.
Oh,
they
no.
took my food, and then the dasher got there and they said, yes, somebody already took the food. When I tell you, I went full Karen. I've never been this mad before in my life. I literally, Chad, I was like, you're going to feel my wrath. Ooh. The AI chat bot that was like, oh, we can't do anything. They confirmed your order. I said, if you don't, I'll put me into a supervisor and I'm going to tell the Better Business Bureau on you guys. Whew. Let me tell you.
You can't mess with somebody's food, man. That's important. I get angry. You can't take it.
They weren't going to give me my money back.
Oof.
And I was like, I didn't. What did I pay for? I paid for nothing. I paid for air.
I had something similar happen. It wasn't a DoorDash for me. We did an online order at a restaurant, which I will not name. I'm in the drive-thru, and I get there and I tell them that, you know, my order's here. And I've been in this. Keep in mind, I have already been in this drive-thru at this point for 45 minutes. Okay. I finally get to the speaker. Victory, right? I just tell them my order because the doors are locked. They don't have enough people to work, so the doors are locked. You have to go through the drive-thru. So I said,
I kind of know what restaurant you're saying then. Okay.
Yeah, I think we all know now. Yeah, it's a common occurrence. So I get to this speaker and I'm like, I have an online order, and they're like, okay, great, cool. They nothing's afoot. They just say, okay, when you whatever, you know, maybe tomorrow when you get up to the window, we'll give that to you. So I waited about another maybe 15-20 minutes, got to the window. And they were like, what's it under again? And I told them the name, and they said, someone already took it. And I was like, what do you mean someone already took it? They're like, well, you already got your food. I'm like, no, I didn't get my food. You said it the first time. Someone took it. You gave my food to someone else. That's what you did. And I was like, all right, well, okay. So, I mean, you're going to have to make my order. And they're like, no, we already made it. It's already fulfilled. There's nothing we can do. I'm like, okay, well then give me my money back. We can't do that. You got your food. I'm like, please jump through the window into my car and search for my food. Like, please find my food because I don't have it. Who has my food? I have no idea. And I felt like I was like, I'm going to need to speak to your supervisor. I didn't even try. I was like, who's the manager of the store? She was like, I am. And I was like, I can see this is going to get me nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. So yeah, we had to go through corporate to get our money back. They weren't going to give us our money back.
Is the name of the place Popeyes
No, it's not. It's
or McDonald's?
It's Akko L.
Oh man,
Yeah, my kids just
yeah,
Akko L,
Taco L.
which is not which is not not the name of a restaurant at all. But yeah,
Yeah,
I went through and tried to get Akko L, and they said no, we already gave that to someone.
no, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. This has also happened to me before. Somebody has also eaten my food before. I have had such a bad time with DoorDashers, you guys. Like I've had my food stolen twice.
Yeah.
Somebody got a flat tire once, and so they kept my food.
Okay.
Another time I've been given the wrong order at least 3 to 4 times. Like when I tell you DoorDash is I'm always this close. I'm always this close to really just like losing my mind.
I get it.
Losing my mind.
15 to 20 minutes is what. You just see the location. Like, I know you're eating my French fries. Like, I bet they were hot too. Oh.
I know. But let's get into the show. There's so much that has happened. We are 5 minutes in and I'm already complaining about my day. But I promised you guys a new lore drop.
Yes.
Every single one of my hosts, my joint hosts, have voted on this lore drop.
Yeah.
I gave them three options: Whiskey Dick, Mac Miller, and Drug Dealer. They all chose Whiskey Dick and Drug Dealer. Now, Chad, which one do you want first?
Let's just go alphabetical. We're gonna go. Now one has a D in it, but we'll go Drug Dealer. How about that?
Okay, Drug Dealer.
Okay.
Now, I want you guys to know this. All right. I was fully in therapy. I was fully on medication when I did this.
Okay.
I also went off of my medication during this time of my life.
Oh,
okay. I'm fully medicated. This time of my life, I kind of went a little cuckoo. So I met a person on, of course, a dating app. Of course, Bumble, right? I had met him, I'm going to say a year before this happened.
Okay.
And we were talking, and he was very attractive. He's very nice. And I'm going to tell you.
Never at any point in time did he ever ask you to poop on
Nope.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Nope.
Just making sure.
Nope.
All right.
But we were trying to like set up a date, and I was like, oh, we should go out this day, or this day. He was like, yeah, I kind of can't leave my house after a certain time. I said, huh? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I kind of can't leave my house. I'm like, oh, like, do you have like a curfew or something? Now, mind you, this man was older than me.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I'm like 25, 26 at this point.
All right.
He's like 30.
Okay.
I'm like, well, what's going on? And he's like, well, I'll send you a picture. He had an ankle monitor on. And I know this story is going to make me sound so stupid, you guys. I promise you. This is the stupidest I've ever been in my life.
House arrestees need love too.
So I found out he had a DUI. He got a DUI. He got put on house arrest for a DUI, right?
Okay.
So we're still talking. And then I don't hear from him. I don't hear from him for like almost a year. And I'm like, what's going on? And so one day randomly, I get a message from him again. And he's like, oh my God, hey, I haven't talked to you in a really long time. I'm like, yeah, I haven't talked to you in a really long time either. What happened? I was like, you're not going to tell me you went to jail, right? He went to jail. He tells me, yeah, I couldn't do the house arrest anymore. I decided just to forfeit it, and I went to jail and just did my time instead of being on probation for 2 years.
Wait, how long was the time?
I don't even know.
Because I think there's a cutoff here. There's a reasonable argument that you could make. Like if he went and did but you're saying you didn't talk to him for a year, so you would.
I would say it was like 6 to 8 months, right?
Okay, all right.
So he was, when I had met him, I think he had only been on house arrest for like a month or two.
Okay.
So he was like, his rationale was probation for 2 years or just serve the jail time and I'm good.
And he didn't have a family, right? He had nothing to, right?
He has a child.
Okay. That's different. I'd probably do the house arrest then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then we reconnect. Now, mind you, I've lost my job due to a global pandemic at this time. I have a car that I can't afford, still living at home.
The good old days.
And, he's like, you know what? Let's go out. Let's go out. I don't have to. He's not on house arrest, but he doesn't have a car. And I said, you know what? I'll drive. Right. I had a very nice car at this time. Oh my God, This is so stupid. This makes me look so dumb. So I pick him up from his house. I go to his house. Find out later on that it's his grandmother's house.
Okay.
Again, I don't shame anybody. But I'm sitting in the car. I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Like, he's like, you should wear this special outfit and all this stuff. And I'm going to wear a nice outfit and I'm ready. I'm sitting in the car for almost an hour. I'm like, what is going on? He comes out and he's all sweaty. And I'm like, This is our first time meeting, mind you, right? He's all sweaty. So then,
this had been how long? Like 2 years then? That you had been talking and then no talking and then back on?
About a year and a half.
Okay, so you're just meeting him for the first time a year and a half in. Okay.
Yeah. This is like 2021. Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Honestly, the years have just blurred by. So
agreed.
We go, we hang out, we do the things. And I again, like every red flag that was in my face should have been in my face, right? So we go to a hotel and he's like, yeah, I don't have a bank account. I said, huh? He's like, I don't have a bank account. Everything I have is on Cash App. I'm like,
okay.
We're trying to pay for a hotel. Like, we're trying to have a nice romantic night.
Yeah.
And he's like, so I'll just send you the money because I had a bank card. So, like when you go to a hotel, you got to put $100 down and pay for it, everything. He's like, I could pay for it. They just didn't take Cash App cards. And so I'm like, okay, whatever, man. I'll pay for it, right? Whole next day comes. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to drop him off back at home. He's like, hey, can we stop at my cousin's place first? And then I had to stop somewhere else. I'm like, okay.
I wondered when the stops were coming in. I knew this was going to, okay. All right.
So we stop at his cousin's place and I'm like, oh, what'd you need at your cousin's house? He goes, oh, I had to give my cousin something. He had to give his cousin rugs. Found this out later. Rugs.
Right.
So then I drop him off at this house that's very seedy neighborhood on the west side. I should just tell you everything I need to know. So I'm in the car. I'm on my phone. And he's just taking forever. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is he doing? And he's like, yeah, my boy's going to come by. He's going to come by. And I'm like, huh? What are you doing? Well, like, what do you do? And he's like, yeah. He's like, he's going to come by for me. I said, huh? I said, oh, no. No.
I would have tried to pass. Like, I'm an art dealer. I deal in art. I would have tried something.
And this was the moment, y'all, I found out he was a rug dealer.
He's not selling toupees, right? No, we got to put it.
No, just a run of the mill. And not only was he selling it, he was taking his own supply.
Well, yeah, cutting in the profit.
Because he was always high. And then he didn't realize that I knew he was high. And I was like, you're high right now. He's like, no, I just took a little perk. Sir.
He must not have listened to Biggie. That's one of the 10 crack commandments.
I'm like, oh my God. So then I told y'all I was really manic at this time. So we were hanging out all the time because, again, I didn't have a job. His job was what it was. And he would be like, let's go here. Let's go here. And I would pick him up because he didn't have a car. I had a car. He didn't have a car. Right. He would give me money. It was, I was so stupid. I was so dumb. Oh my God.
Maybe he was just a social butterfly, Autumn, and he just wanted to stop by and see a lot of people from a very small amount of time. I don't know.
So then he needed to get a rental car because he was like, I need to get around the city.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And he's like, it's going to be in my name. And I'm going to give you the money.
Oh, no.
I had a card. And he didn't. So he gave me the money. I used my card. And I got him a rental car.
All right.
Why would I do that?
Now you've become an accomplice.
He was supposed to turn the rental car in. He didn't turn the rental car in. So because he didn't turn the rental car in, they took the money. And I'm in the grocery store like, what do you mean? I know I have money. I'm like, I can't put this food back. So then I have to like half and half it. And I'm calling my bank. I'm like, what's going on? They tell me, oh yeah, we've taken $500 out of your account for this. I'm like, oh, no. And they're like, yeah, because it hasn't been returned. I'm like, oh my God. So then I have to call him like, hey, did you return this rental car that you were supposed to return today? And he goes, no, I need to keep it an extra couple days. I'm going to send you the money so you can put it on your card so I can keep it. Oh my God.
See, knowing everything that I already know about your dating history, I really hoped, Autumn, that this was going to be a story about you meeting a pharmacist and having a lovely time. No,
but it's just my stupidity.
All right.
So then he also met my mom. That was also crazy that he met my mom. He's one of very few that met my mom. And then
what if she was like, where do I know you from? You'd be like, Mom.
No. So then eventually he does turn the rental car in, right?
Okay. All right. That's good.
Then I stopped talking to him because again, I'm manic at this time, y'all. I'm not on my medication. I'm in between switching medications.
Yeah.
I had to tell my therapist, I was like, yeah, I went a little crazy. I went a little off the rails. I dated someone that I definitely was not supposed to be dating, right?
All right.
So then I stopped talking to him. About a year passes. A year later, he asked me to do the same exact thing with the rental car, and I say no because I'm like I'm sound of mind at this point. I'm on the right dosage of medications, and I'm not stupid. And I go, no, I'm good. And he goes, oh, okay. So then he gets a girlfriend, and then I didn't hear from him again. And you would think that's the end of the story. No. About 6 months ago, I was on Bumble again. And I'm scrolling. Like, y'all, I just have Bumble at this point just to scroll. It's not even just like, I don't take it seriously anymore. It's just to scroll. And I look, and I'm like, I know that person. I know this face.
Oh, no.
His name is, I'm not going to say his name. His name is a normal name.
Okay.
And the name I was looking at, I'm like, this is not this man's name. He had his Instagram like in the bio. I looked on his Instagram. He had moved to Florida and rebranded himself as a lifestyle influencer. And that's the story of the drug dealer.
Wow. Not a pharmacist.
Not a pharmacist, but just me being stupid and like driving a man to I don't even want to talk about, like, I just, every time I think about myself at this time, I just think, I'm like, oh my God, I was so stupid.
You live and learn, though. I mean, right, you learn from it. You didn't do it again.
No, never again will I ever drive a man around or just be stupid enough to do that. When we come back, I will give you the lore behind Whiskey Dick. Whiskey Dick is one of the funniest stories I've ever told. It is one of the funniest stories I've ever experienced in my life.
I can't wait.
Then we will get to Family Day. Now I know, Chad, you didn't get to watch it.
I skimmed through a little bit. I saw some meetings. I saw Sincere and we're gonna a little bit.
We're gonna talk about Sincere Melanie. And that was something I've never seen on a Love Island Family Day ever in my life. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you guys are watching this here, Spiral Out of Control.
Yes.
Here on the Daily Spiral. We'll be right back.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order W Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. W Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. That is time to learn the lore behind Whiskey Dick. Now, I could actually apply this to two different men, but this one in particular, I'm going to apply to one person.
All right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I told you guys I've had a bit of a past. I've had a bit of a crazy dating life, as we've heard on this show.
Happens.
This man was one of three men that I talked to that all went to the same high school. We were in the same graduating class,
Okay.
and all knew each other.
All right.
Now, I actually knew of this man when I was in high school, and I didn't even realize he was the same person until years later.
All right.
Because, okay, so I have to explain this.
He rebranded as well, it sounds like.
Yeah, he did. So I went to a normal high school during the day, and then my senior and junior year, I went to a sort of trade high school.
Okay.
Right? So everybody like picked a trade. So like there was cosmetology, there was STNA, there was dental assistant, all this stuff, right? Okay. So I was in the cosmetology program, and this man was in the auto program, and one of the girls that I was very close with in my like cosmetology program was obsessed with him.
Okay.
Constantly talk about him, talk about how they would hang out all the time. And I would just hear his name all the time. And I'd be like, oh, okay, girl. I had no clue years later I would meet this man and this story would evolve, right? So I meet him. I think I met him on Bumble too. I had a great run on Bumble, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a really great run until I didn't have a great run, right?
And then it all stopped one day. It all crashed down.
Mm-hmm. Then it was really crash and burn, right?
Happens.
So I'm on Bumble, we're talking, and this was my hookup phase, y'all. Okay, I had a phase where I wanted to date, I had a hookup phase, and then I had a phase where I was like, I want to be in a relationship. This was the hookup phase.
All right.
So we're talking, and he invites me over to his house. And I'm like, oh, cool, nice. Like Like, you have a nice house. It was a quasi frat house, y'all. It really was.
Okay.
It really was. It was like if you put a frat house in the middle of a city. That's how this house was, right? And I was just being nice.
Okay. Okay.
So
All
I
right.
had no clue before this that he had been drinking all day long.
Oh no.
So we go to his bedroom. Things are happening.
He had a bed, right?
He had a bed. He had a whole room by himself.
Box spring.
He was, mattress, box spring, headboard, everything, right?
Okay.
And he kept telling me how excited he was. He was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you to be here, everything, right? Because he had been drinking all day.
Oh no.
He just couldn't get it up.
Oh man.
He just couldn't get it up. Eli, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. He just couldn't get it up. He just couldn't get it up. And it was just so bad. And I'm like, okay, like we can try. Like he was like, no. He's like, it's my fault. It's my fault. So we just like are sitting there, we're talking. And then this is when I find out that I technically knew who he was because he used to date this girl but didn't date her. But then I found out she was crazy. All this whole thing, right?
Okay.
This is the funny part. I promise you, that's not the funny part. So I'm gonna say like a month later, we decided to try again.
All right.
Right. And when I say I've never seen a man this excited, he goes, all right. He said, I didn't drink anything. He was like, I went and worked out. He was like, I made sure I had the house to myself. He said he made sure it was great. I was like, oh, okay. You
Bro had a V8 and everything. He was ready to go. Okay. All right.
So we go to his room. Things are happening. Things are progressing. We're in the moment. And he goes, hold up, wait, stop. I go, what's going on? He said, hold up, wait, stop right now. He said, I got to think of something. I'm like, what is going on? He said, I have to think of a grandma and some puppies. I go, huh? I'm like, what's going on? He said, oh, no. It feels too good right now. I'm like, oh my God. I said, all right. So then
maybe go have a couple drinks, man. Just in moderation, like just.
This is the funny part. So we start trying again.
The grandma and puppies was not the fun. Okay, all right.
So we start trying again, and then he goes, "Oh no!" And I go, "What happened?" He goes, "I can't believe this just happened." I'm like, "What is going on?"
Oh no.
He said, "I can't believe I just turned into a teenager again." I'm like, it's been 2 minutes. What?
Oh no.
Oh my God. He stood up and he said, man, F this. And he threw a condom.
Oh no.
He said, I've been waiting all day. I prepared myself the best I could. And I lasted 2 minutes. Now I'm sitting there. I've never experienced this ever in my life. I'm like, what just happened? And he was like, I'm so embarrassed. He's like, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened. He was like, I don't even want to try again. This is the most embarrassing moment of my life.
My God.
He said I was so excited.
All he needed was 45 minutes and a sandwich. Like he would have been fine. He just needed a man.
He said I was so excited. I said, you clearly were, but I've never, that had never happened to me before. I never had somebody say, hold on, stop. I need to think about puppies or
grandmas and puppies. Like what? And you were like, please don't be trying to get, you know what I mean? Like, because the other thing
in my mind, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, why would you be thinking of this? A grandma and puppies?
Oh my God.
Like, what? I'm like, huh? And then he stopped and said this. He said, F this, and threw the condom.
Where did it go? Like, he just threw it. Like, where did he throw it? I gotta know.
I don't even know. I couldn't help but to laugh. I was laughing at him so hard because I was like, this is ridiculous. I said, oh, he was dead serious. He was dead serious.
You're like, I thought he was hyping me up. He's like, this feels too good. You're like, all right.
I was like,
No,
oh,
really
I'm like, I'm doing great. And he said, no, I have to stop. I have to stop and think about something else. And he was so frustrated with himself.
Oh my God.
Oh, I think I heard about it. I think I heard from him like last year. Last year was the last time I heard from him.
I feel I'm in physical pain for this guy right now. I feel I feel
It was just the first time it was good. The second time it was too fast. And that is why he is known as Whiskey Dick to me, because he just couldn't do it.
Was there no third time then?
No.
Because the third time may have been just right. This might have been like a Three Little Pigs situation. You know what I mean?
It could have been, but after a while, I was just like, nah, I'm good.
Okay.
It's like it was more hassle.
All right. Okay. All right.
Because we have a little bit more time.
Okay.
I was gonna save Mac Miller for Eli because I know he's a musician.
Yes.
But I have to give you a little bit of a preview, okay?
All right.
All right. I'll tell it tomorrow. I'll tell the full story tomorrow. Just know this story involves the Cleveland Browns, Mac Miller, Cinemark movie theaters, gift cards, and bad cologne.
Oh no. Oh no.
All 5 of those elements.
I'm my brain's going crazy trying to figure out how those things all work together, but
again,
I'm gonna have to watch tomorrow.
The Cleveland Browns.
All right. Cleveland Browns.
Gift cards.
Cinemark
movie theater.
Yep.
Mac Miller.
And bad cologne. All right. How bad are we talking? Like
so bad that I literally was like in this car being like, this is bad. It was like holding my breath like, oh, this is bad.
Oh man. And with bad cologne, there's always too much of it. It's never just a little bad cologne.
No, it was the most overpowering cologne I've ever smelled. I can smell it right now. I can think of the memory and smell it. That's how bad it is.
Scent is the strongest sense tied to memory, so I'm not surprised.
Yes. All right, let's get into it. Before we go to break,
all right,
I'm gonna give a little preview. I'm gonna say some things, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about the episode in length. I'm not gonna recap anything. We're just gonna talk about different things. But I'm just gonna say this before we go to break. If I was dating someone, and my family and their family came into our situation, sat me down, and said, "I'm so embarrassed of his behavior. I want more for you. I want better for you. I'm only here because he did such a bad job.
Yeah.
And he was so terrible to you. And we care so much about you." And then my sister pulled me to the side and said, "He's playing you. He's playing you in your face." And then my mother said to me, "You've given him so many chances, but there's a bunch of people out there that are just waiting for their one chance." If I heard, and then my friends come to me and say, "You know what? We are so sorry that we gave you terrible advice and we minimized your feelings and we propped him up and we didn't call out his toxic behaviors." And I then proceed to say, "You know what? I'm going to give you a 4th chance to play in my face." I would want somebody to slap the hell out of me.
Fair.
Slap me in my face. Please. Punch me.
Some of these people you meet on Bumble, Autumn, they might be into that. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Honestly, I told you there's a story that I'm waiting for y'all to give me approval on. I will change names, okay?
I don't know that that's ever going to happen.
Names. I will change professions. We will not have to know who this person is, but you guys need to hear this story because it is the funniest story I've ever had the chance. I will change names. I will change professions. I will keep everything the same.
And Eli's just in the background going, nope.
Please, the day You let me tell that story. It's going to be great. But yeah, no. So if everybody's telling me he's toxic, and then I look at him and I say, I'm going to give you one last time, but if you play in my face one more time, like I know you will, you're dead to me. Somebody punch me, please. I'm giving somebody full permission, man or woman. Punch me in the face. Knock some sense into my head.
Hey. Fair.
When we come back from the break, we'll talk about why I said that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into Family Day. This is your first time watching Family Day. I promise you, it is never like this. And then I'll get into my good spiral and bad spiral, because we all know what my bad spiral is going to be today. But I'll tell you what my good spiral is. But you guys are watching us here on the Inside Edge Network. We will be right back after a quick break.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Family Day is supposed to be such an exciting experience for the island. It really is. It is supposed to be an experience that, their families are finally meeting this person that they're in love with, because you only get Family Day at the end of the competition, right? because you're supposedly in love. You've had 6 weeks to fall in love. Some people have had a lot less. Some people have had a lot more.
Mhm.
And it's really just a day to be like, hey, here's a sense of normalcy. Here's what you're not maybe seeing on the outside because you're in the villa. These people are going to bring you down to earth. And I'm telling you, Chad, I've watched so many seasons of this show.
Okay.
One season it didn't even get Family Day.
Okay.
That was season 6. Season 6 got family video calls because it couldn't fly anybody out there.
Gotcha.
Season 7 got Family Day. Season 5 got Family Day. I'm pretty sure every season except season 6 got Family Day, right?
Okay.
But everybody knows that there's a couple that shouldn't be together, and you clock them immediately. And everybody knows that there's a couple that you're like, yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want to see, right?
Yep.
I've never seen what happened with Melanie and Sincere today. I've never seen that ever on this show.
I mean, which part? It was wild.
So let's just get into the Melanie and Sincere at all. They're the only couple, I think, this entire episode that everybody was waiting. Even the Islanders were waiting for them.
Yeah.
Even the Islanders wanted to see, because again, y'all, they have no entertainment. This is their entertainment, right?
Everybody was posted up all around. Like I
Mhm.
noticed that. Yeah, I for sure saw that.
So Melanie's mom and sister come in, and then Sincere's stepdad, not biological dad, his stepdad and his brother come in. And almost immediately they go to sit down, and Sincere's stepdad just goes, I'm here because this is not what we do. And he just lets Sincere have it. He's like, he said, and anybody that knows Sincere knows that this is not how he was raised. This is not how he's supposed to act. This is not who he is. Yeah. Which I'm like, they either don't know him, because this is learned behavior. Sincere, this is not normal behavior. This is learned behavior.
Yeah.
This is not just like, oh, like maybe he kind of no. If you're a pathological liar, you learn how to be a pathological liar.
Yeah.
So his stepdad telling Melanie, like, we love you so much and we're rooting for you, but we do not think you should be with him. I was like, whoa.
That's rough.
I said, whoa. I've never had a family come in and say, yeah, no, this person sucks. You should not be with him.
It's wild.
Melanie's sister shading him and was like, yeah, beloved. And like him catching that she did not say that in like a funny way. She said that in like a you got some explaining to do.
Yeah.
Melanie's mom and sister take her to the side, and Melanie, you could just see in her face that she's so excited. She's so excited to talk about him. And Melanie's sister just goes, girl, he's playing you. And I'm like, what? When I say Chad, I'm dead serious. This has never happened. Like this kind of family day has never happened, to where a family is dead set up. Like both sides are like, you need to break up. You need to not go through this.
Wow.
And it got me emotional, especially when her mom started talking, because her mom is just like, Melanie, like you deserve, like everybody just kept telling her she deserved better.
Yeah.
And I just wish she would take that advice, that she deserves better.
Do you think so a lot of people, I assume, go on the show to win, right? You're trying to win. It sounds like do you think people I maybe
some people go on to win and some people just go on for love.
Okay. All right. Because everything that her sister was saying, it sounded like that was her goal. Like she went there to find someone. And maybe she couldn't care less if she wins, but maybe she's so desperate that like, and I don't mean desperate in a bad, I'm not trying to paint her in a bad light. I just mean that maybe she feels like this is her last shot for whatever reason. And she's so, hard up or whatever that she's going to bring home Sincere because it's somebody.
I think this is a little bit of elements of that, of like, because like I told you, the dating life out here is rough. It's real rough. It's real slim pickings. Like the good ones are really like, it's a needle in a haystack for real.
Yeah.
But with Melanie and Sincere, I think because she has trauma bonded herself to him for this whole experience. Okay. And in her mind, like, and you heard her, she was like, my mind is like, girl, you need to let him go. Let him go. Because everybody this episode told her he's toxic. It's not just toxic behavior. He's actually toxic. His own family said he's toxic.
It's crazy.
And she's just like,
but then you're out there and you're isolated and you're away from everyone.
Yeah.
She feels like maybe that's all she's got. And yeah, that's tough.
It's just at this point, when she, at the end of the episode, when she looked at him and said, I'm gonna give you another chance, but this is your last chance. And I'm like, girl, it doesn't even mean anything at this point, because you're gonna keep giving him chances. Yeah. He's played in your face 3 different times.
Yeah.
3 different times.
Yeah.
What is it gonna change? And I saw that everybody in the villa was like, look, he has been walked, like, when I say he's been walked like a dog, he's been walked like a dog, right? Yeah. And they're like, maybe we should let off of him. No, keep on it. Keep it on.
Yeah.
He is terrible.
Pretty bad.
But yeah, they were the biggest part. I skipped Kenzie and Dylan because I'm sick of them. I'm just ready for them to go. What are you having an argument about? What are you having a disagreement about? Like at this point, Dylan just wants to win.
Yeah.
I don't care. Casey and TT, skip that too, because not only were they the shortest of the segment, but it's just like at this point, not really. Like, you guys became girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
those two don't interest me at all. Nothing about their dynamic interests me at all. Like, I just don't want to hear it. I can't hear it. I can't listen to it.
One of my favorite moments is Bryce looking at him and said, yeah, Mr. Still You Rise became a boyfriend. I said, why would you say that?
I mean, hey.
But
why Bryce and Trinity are about to win, man.
Yeah, honestly, like the relationship that Tiara and Casey have is just so weird. Like, nothing about it seems like genuine. It just really seems just like they're just there. And he keeps mentioning she's really like my mom. I'm gonna tell you, if a man kept telling me I was like his mom,
that's a red flag.
Biggest red flag you can have. Don't tell me that I'm like your mother. I don't want to be your mother.
That's
no.
No, that's not good.
No woman wants to literally say, you know what? You remind me so much of my mom. No, ew.
Ooh, yeah, that ruins a lot of stuff. I mean, that ruins a lot of it. Yeah, that's bad. That's not good.
Who else? Honestly, there's Charlie. I told you about Charlie, Chad. Charlie is the worst.
Yeah.
He is the worst. He will always be the worst. He is, again, the only person I've ever seen to get eliminated twice in the same year. First. I've never seen that before. He came back in the villa. He's like, yeah, it still looks the same. I'm like, oh my God. I just knew you were going to be terrible.
I remember my 15 minutes here. Still looks the same.
Literally. And then Kata was like, she was like, is it as big as you remember? I'm like, oh my God, please stop. But I was disappointed with her and her family. Her family had the opportunity to be like, Kata, he's playing in your face. He's manipulating everybody. He's doing this, doing that. Her sister
got them too, yeah.
Her sister does not like him. Her sister has openly been online being like, I don't like him.
Yeah.
And they sat in her face and was like, yeah, I mean, he's a little weird. He's a little out there. We may not get his humor.
All right. Do you think they felt pressure being there on camera and, like, I don't know, like they don't want to go in and call her out and make her feel whatever? I mean, I don't know. That's
probably because she's had a rough couple episodes where she's arguing everybody about the situationship of it all. She's in a situationship. We know she's in a situationship. That is the literal definition of a situationship.
I saw the life come out of her eyes when she was like talking about it. And you're like, that's a situationship. She was like, you could just see all the wind came out of her sails, everything.
As someone that's been in many a situationship, she's in a situationship.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
He's doing everything boyfriend and girlfriend wise, and just still not calling you his girlfriend. Like, you're in a situationship. Like, it pisses me off because it's like she's like, but we're not. But we're just gonna wait until we get out of the villa. You live in New Hampshire and he lives in Brisbane, Australia.
Yeah, that's when it ends. Like, that's the day that it ends. That's it.
Like, and he's not making an effort to move to America. He's not going to do that. Zach is a selfish, messy bitch. He's not doing it.
It's fair. That's fair. I think you're right. I know you're right.
Yeah. It was just Melanie and Sincere, and Zach and Kata really just like have just grinded my gears to this point of the competition. To where I'm
I've told you before, I think Kata's likable. I think I feel like of all the people that I look at in these I don't want to say situations because we just talked about situationship, but I feel like she could do a lot better for herself. I really believe that. I don't know.
Like I look at her and I'm like, you are gorgeous, girl, and you are dating a man who is just bringing you down. And like, as someone who has had a lot of female friends be in that situation, of like they're dating men that are just awful, you can't tell them that they're awful.
No,
you have to wait for them to see it, and they'll come to you and be like, "You didn't tell me he was awful," and it's like, "Girl, I tried, but you didn't want to listen."
Yeah, and the worst part is like the line between like, and I'm not. it's hard for me to, in a certain sense, but I've seen it. And you have to be supportive of this thing that you don't support. You know what I mean? Like you have to be there. But yeah, that's tough. That's a tough situation. In all honesty, that's tough.
One of my best friends in the whole entire world, love her, traveled with her, everything. She was in one of the most toxic relationships I've ever seen in my life. After a while, I just had to be like, don't tell me nothing about him. I don't want to hear nothing. Because it got to that point. And that's how I feel with some of these couples. It's like, I don't even want to hear about you. Like, I want to see it. I want to hear it. That's how I feel about Kenzie and Dylan. That's how I feel about Casey and TT. That's how I feel about
both of those couples too, though. I was like, no, I'm good. All right. I'll go back and watch it later. I don't think there's anything here. But I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bryce and Trinity, just beautiful, gorgeous. Bryce's grandma had me cracking up.
It was funny. Yes.
When she told Kenzie, was like, look at him. We don't got a turtle tongue now. I'm like, you can see Kenzie's face being like, oh my God, I forgot I said that.
Right. And
Bryce looking at him was like,
favorite moment with Zach or whatever. That was funny. Her grandma's favorite moment. That was funny. Or his grandma's favorite moment.
Yeah.
That was really, really funny to me.
I would have loved to see Trinity's mom reaction though to her doing what she did in the back seat. That would have been funny. They probably did talk about it, but
didn't make the episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Carl and Anaya though, I have a special place in my heart for them.
Okay.
I really do. Because I think that outside of Trinity and Bryce, they're the only other couple that's gonna last.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Because even though they've been together, they've actually been together the same amount of time that Casey and TT have been together.
Yeah.
But I look at them and I'm like, I can tell they talk about things.
It feels more genuine. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell that like he actually likes her. Like every time he does something, it's so nice for her. Like he just seems like a really nice guy.
Good for him, man. Good for him.
Carl and his big boobs. Like he has big man boobs. I love him though. He is so sweet. He's such a sweetie pie. Their families came together. Anaya's mom got in her butt and was like, girl, why you keep crying? We also got to the crux of why she chose KC in the recoupling. She fully said, I only chose him because of the amount of time I spent with him. Okay. If she had spent more time with Carl, she would have chose Carl first and not KC. And I had a feeling that was the reason why. I had a strong feeling.
Okay. I think that pull of not wanting to be the only person without a person is pretty strong. I mean, especially when you're out there, you're on camera. There's no, you can't hide, you know. I think that's a pull.
But yeah, no, their relationship is very sweet. Their mother's very sweet. Both moms being like, yeah, I could see this person a part of my family. I want them to be a part of my family. I said, oh, we're probably gonna get. It was just that couple is what Love Island really is. Like them and Trinity and Bryce is like what you want to see on Love Island, like the actual love part.
I mean, some drama's gonna bring eyes onto the show or whatever the season. But yeah, you want to see some success stories. You want to see some people going in there and you know, not just winning the show or whatever, but yeah, find some happiness. That's good. That's good stuff.
All right. So it is now 3 more episodes left.
Yeah.
Right? 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, we will hear the result of the vote. Now, Chad, remember, I told you last night, the vote was the top 4 couples.
Yes.
That was not the only part of the vote.
Okay.
Whoever you pick to vote first is the number one couple.
Okay.
So they're the first couple that's automatically in the finale.
Okay.
Love Island producers are so messy because every time you go on the app to vote, the first couple was Carl and Anaya.
Okay.
Because of alphabetical order. So by default, even if you wanted them in the finale, like, or not, they were there.
Okay. Okay.
And at the end of the episode, we see what I call the family dinner. It's always the last dinner. This is when production decides to give everybody real food for the first time in the whole experience. They don't have to eat grilled cheeses and fried bologna sandwiches and avocado toast and turkey bacon. They get real food. They get chicken. They get pasta. They get bread. They get everything they want.
That would be the end of me having abs. Not that I have abs, but if I were on the show, presumably I would have some abs. That's where they would stop, right there.
It's the first real meal. So now, in past seasons, they've done it to where they made everybody go to the fire pit.
Okay.
Last season, they did it to where they had it under like dinner plates. Like you would pick up the dome and then you would read off a card that said you are in the finale or you've been dumped from the island.
Okay.
They decided to do fortune cookies.
Oh, all right.
Now, some people think from the trailer, it looks a little deceptive. Some people also think that the way the seating arrangement is a little deceptive. So the seating arrangement, I'm going to explain it. The seating arrangement. I don't have a picture, but I can explain it.
Okay.
I can explain it. All right. So the seating arrangement is Carl and Anaya at the far end.
Okay.
Trinity and Bryce, Melanie and Sincere, Kenzie and Dylan, Casey and TT, and then Zach and Kata on the end.
Okay.
And everybody was like, let's compare it to last year's. Last year's, it was the top two couples, which was Brian and Amaya who won, and then Huda and Chris, which they're the first couple I've ever seen break up in the final four. Then in the middle, it was what we found out was the final two couples. Well, one of them was the final couple, the other one was the couple dumped, and then on the end is the last couple saved.
Okay.
Almost the exact same seating arrangement here.
Okay.
Of what we perceive will be the winner on the end, the runner up right next to them, the couple that may be dumped, the two couples in the middle that are probably going to be dumped, and the one couple on the end that is going to get saved.
Okay. Do they have a reason for sitting this way, or is it just to get us talking?
It's just to get us talking.
Okay.
Now, who do you think is going to be dumped from the island tomorrow? Because I have a feeling I know who's going to be dumped from the island tomorrow.
Well, I mean, so this is going to be a couple gets dumped, not just one person, right?
Two couples will get dumped. Because it's always a final four. So because there are 6 couples, 2 couples have to be dumped.
Okay. So I feel in my opinion, like I would like to see Sincere and Melanie go because I don't think that's not a real couple. That's not going to work. But that's not how these things work. Because people want that messy to go forward, right? Like they're gonna, yeah. So, I mean, I feel like poor Carl is I feel like he's going home.
No,
you don't think so?
No, I think
I feel like. Go ahead.
I think number one, it's gonna be Kenzie and Dylan. Nobody likes them. Not a soul likes them. I've not seen nobody be like, I want to see Kenzie and Dylan.
What's funny, Autumn, is I didn't even think of them. When I was thinking of the couples, I didn't even neither one of them popped into my head.
Like I said.
That's it. Yeah.
Kenzie and Dylan, 100%.
That's fair.
The two that the 3 that I'm thinking of that is between because of everybody, like because of what I've seen, but I don't think that they've had enough votes. So it's between Melanie and Sincere,
okay,
Zach and Kata, Casey and TT. Okay. Those 3 couples to me are on the cusp, and it really is between Melanie and Sincere and Casey and TT. Okay. I think Casey actually did a lot more damage last episode than Sincere and Melanie. I think people are like, we want Melanie to be in the final 4 because she deserves something. She deserves some good part of her summer after the shit show she's been through. And kind of the same thing with Kata of like, she deserves something of having to deal with Zach.
That's why I didn't want to say Zach and Kata, because I feel like people do like Kata. A lot of people I feel like are going to like Kata, or have liked her, do like her, whatever. Yeah.
Again, people like Kata, people like Melanie. It's the two people that they're with that they don't like. Now, I think it's going to be the final four will be Trinity and Bryce, Carla and Anaya, Zach and Kata, and Melanie and Sincere.
Okay.
I think Kenzie and Dylan and Casey and TT will be dropped only because everybody sees through the last minute wanting to be boyfriend and girlfriend. That every year, I've explained this the last 2 days. Every year, everybody sees through it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that he asked her to be his girlfriend. It was the way he asked her, and it was the way he said, and I quote, she's worthy. She's proven herself worthy to be my girlfriend. Never say that to a woman. Don't say that to a woman. Don't ever do that.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
The moment he said that she's worthy is the moment I think every single woman, even if they were rooting for him, were like, nah, we're
You
good.
just got to say you're right, man. You just got to say you're right. That's it.
When Bryce said that this is weird, he was like, you just got to say, yeah, I'm all right. You're like,
in all honesty, that's one of my favorite moments of the episodes that I've seen. That was funny.
Like I told you, Bryce is a sniper from the side. Him and Carl do not like Casey. Him and Carl just keep being on Casey's neck. Last episode, Carl was supposed to be involved in the girlfriend proposal. Paid him dust.
Man.
This episode, Anaya was like, I'm so happy for you. And Carl was like, wow, you really are the bigger person, to go through all of that. And
right,
you're the bigger person. I heard you better than me.
Right.
I heard that
you not how I feel, but okay, all right. Yeah, right.
He was like, you really are the being the bigger person. She's like, yeah, I heard you better than me.
He was like, not what I would have said. Okay, all right. I get it.
But we've come to the end of the show, Chad.
Yes.
If you guys want to see more Love Island stuff, me and Eli, of course, will talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about who gets dumped from the island, who will be the final four tomorrow here on Inside Edge Network. And then Sunday, myself and Double A and maybe a special guest will be live reacting to the finale. We will live react to who will to all the dates, to the couple conversations, because everybody will have a couple conversation of what they're going to do when they get outside. We'll react to the final vows because they also act like they're about to get married. And then who wins the season.
Crazy that it's coming up so soon. It's crazy.
Literally. And then, of course, After Sun, and we'll talk about After Sun and like different things. Mm-hmm. But good spiral and bad spiral of the day. Good spiral. I don't even know what my good spiral. Oh, no, there's a good spiral. Friend of mine, been taking him home, been driving him home all week. We're really good friends. I would consider him one of my best friends. Okay. Very, very nice. He sent me $50 because I've been taking him home. So that was a good spiral.
My man.
Bad spiral is that he then proceeded to post me on his Instagram that I was late for work, which I was, and then used my TikTok video to laugh. And then, of course, my bad spiral is whoever the person is that stole my DoorDash. I will find you, man. I was waiting. Oh, when I tell you, Chad, I was waiting for that food. I had plans. I was like, I know what it's gonna be. I'm like, I know it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so savory. And then that person stole it. So that's my bad spiral of the day. DoorDashers who steal, or people who pretend to be DoorDashers and steal food. I'm on your ass. Okay.
That's the FBI too. She's gonna find you.
All right. Tomorrow, Eli and I will react to Love Island, who gets dumped. I'll share my other lore drop of the Mac Miller story. Again, remember, y'all, back alone. Mac Miller, the Cleveland Browns, Cinemark, gift cards.
Can't wait.
Yes. But now, Eli, you get to come back on screen and you get to do Double A's Crack Show.
Autumn, I just want to make it very clear here, just here tonight, that if you ever give me the wrap-up sign, when this is now approximately how many days have you been? Hold on. It's midnight.
That's not what I
It's
did.
midnight. It's midnight. This is I'll run the questions here. You had the whole last hour and 4 minutes. How many days have you been doing this show? I believe it's been about almost a month now.
It's been 3 weeks.
Okay, so that's 20. So then we'll take out the weekend. So 7, so 5, 15. So congratulations. This is the 15th day in a row.
Did you carry a
managed
one
to-
there?
Yeah, I did.
It's 14, actually. It's 14. I've been counting. No. It is 15. It is 15. No, you're correct. It is 15.
I just want to be clear to the audience at home. This is what I saw at approximately 11:56.
That is not what I did.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
I did this. I didn't know. I did not. I don't even know what you said to why I did that.
It was this.
Oh, it was the music. I was
Yeah,
like,
I got
no,
you in trouble.
the music. I said,
You know,
don't
Autumn,
play that. That's why I did that.
That's
I
a very
wasn't-
good. That's a very good cover. You know what? We appreciate you.
I got you,
Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Somebody has my back here. Did you?
I have your back. I have your back.
Enjoy the story about Whiskey
I
Dick.
enjoyed.
About
Good one.
why he
he
got
I
so
feel bad
angry
for
at
him.
himself.
I feel bad for him a little bit, but like, yeah.
Grandma's
It
and
is a
puppies.
funny story because again, he stopped and said, "I can't believe this is happening. I'm not a teenager anymore," and threw it.
Yeah.
Was it like a mad throw? Like get out.
Yes,
Oh.
yes. It was like he was so mad at himself. He was like, "I was sober." He was like, "I worked out. I was waiting. I was here." And then this happened. I'm like, "Hey, I don't know." I'm like, "Am I just that talented?" Like, I don't know.
Should I be flattered? How do I feel?
That's how I
about
felt. I'm like, should I be flattered that this happened, or should I be highly insulted that you lasted 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes?
Thought about it all day. All day.
All right, folks. Well, I can't top that. Midnight Run coming up right here after a word from our partners. We'll see you on the other side.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Double A Anthony Alford taking care of some things. He'll be back with you and all of us here next week. I'm Eli Moon. We are ready to rock here for this midnight hour. Always interesting trying to follow Autumn. Another great job on the Daily Spiral, her and Chad. And I know everybody gets mad at I guess the goodbyes get cut off, folks. So my apologies to the goodbyes of Autumn and Chad. They send their well wishes, and they'll be back here tomorrow on Inside Edge Primetime and the Daily Spiral. We'll be rocking and rolling with you all week long here. It is your Thursday, however. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow if you've been tuning in all night and enjoying what you've been seeing. Inside Edge Net on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Make sure you smash that notification bell. Know when we're going live, all the great daily and weekly programming. And, of course, go and check out our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Read about your favorite personalities. Check out our partners page. A lot of our great partners, a lot of great deals. Of course, you have Fanatics.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, W Energy, Monster Moments, SportsMemorabilia.com, and Omega Video Marketing. We appreciate them and appreciate you. So go grab something nice at the merchandise store, whether it's a shirt, a hat, a mug, a polo, a windbreaker. Rep Cleveland's Digital Leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. And have you heard? We're on Roku. Download the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Go grab the app. Take us wherever you want to go, wherever you're heading. Take us with you on Roku. Just download the Inside Edge Network app. All right. A lot to get into tonight. We have the MLB All-Star Game. It is coming up early next week. So, of course, we have some exciting stuff with that. Baseball will be in the spotlight. You know, some of the brightest stars of America's pastime will be taking the field. We'll talk about that and what it means for baseball, not only this year, but for the foreseeable future. And why this All-Star break, you know, the game, but the break in totality, the home run derby, you know, the rising stars type-esque game, you know, all the young stars out there, you know, why that's going to matter for the years to come. And then, of course, later on, I'll talk about the Super Bowl. I know, crazy. We are here in July, and I'm talking about February and the Super Bowl. But I want to give my reasonings why not only the Patriots, who have had their own weird offseason, we'll leave it at that, weird offseason, you know, the Mike Vrabel stuff, the Stephon Diggs stuff, trading for A.J. Brown, just a whole lot of changes, for better or for worse. A lot of new information there in New England, but also Seattle. They've slid under the rug. I know they've made some additions, but losing Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, Zach Charbonnet recovering from an injury, Sam Darnold, I know Kyle Cornell on Unfiltered has him in his top 10 quarterbacks going into 2026, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but can he replicate this? We'll talk about all that later on in the show. Got to get into it first, however. It is the LeBron watch. Folks, this is the hottest storyline of the summer, unless you're a Love Island fan. Everybody's been following where LeBron James is going to go. Is he coming back home to Cleveland? Is he going to be a Cavalier for the third time, the trilogy here in Cleveland? Is he going to be a Golden State Warrior, Miami Heat? Is he going to be a Minnesota Timberwolf? Some of the other teams that have been discussed. And, you know, it seems every other day there's new information that comes about that may sway somebody in a different direction, why this fit makes more sense, why this roster makes way more sense for LeBron, why this story would be perfect for LeBron James. And, of course, we've seen Bob Myers, the Philadelphia 76ers front office exec, there on the podcast with Max Kellerman and Rich Paul, you know, LeBron's agent, obviously, you know, and been with LeBron his entire career, and Max Kellerman getting the lucky position of being there with Rich Paul to be on there on the Game Over podcast, just having discussions about LeBron's free agency and where he goes. And, you know, Bob Myers in there selling why Philadelphia, who just acquired Jaylen Brown from Boston, you know, rivals trading Pretty weird in the NBA especially. But rivals trading, in-division rivals. And Jaylen Brown now a Philadelphia 76er, Bob Myers making that point. In that case, why LeBron should go there, why the roster fits there, and why Philadelphia fans will love him if he were to win a championship. Well, Mr. Myers, I would tend to think anybody would love LeBron James just a little bit. Even those that don't really care for LeBron James will love him just a little bit if he brings their city a championship. There were people here in Cleveland, let's not forget when he came back home in 2014, that weren't necessarily thrilled about the idea of him coming home for the first time he came back. They weren't thrilled about it. Why does he have to come back here? This isn't how I want to win a championship. And 2016 comes around, we win a championship, and you don't really hear the chirping as much. Of course, years have gone on since then. The whatever you want to call it, resentment or annoyance or whatever people feel towards LeBron James is still around Cleveland, but not as strong as it was pre-2016. So you have Philadelphia in the mix, the city that would love him if he wins a championship. You have Golden State, and Steph Curry's been vocal recently, talking about how LeBron would raise the floor, raise the ceiling of this team, play with some people he's familiar with, that he rocks with, and give a chance to, play some good basketball. Maybe win a championship, maybe, but sounds like more the fun aspect. They're winding down. This is the end of LeBron's career, whether it's this season or surprises us all and plays another year after this. I mean, he has surprised us many a times throughout his career. Who's to say you want to surprise us one more? But all signs pointing to this being the last season for LeBron. Is it going to be spent having fun with Steph Curry and Golden State? And we painted it yesterday. We talked about the outskirts, Denver, Jokic, they have that championship. Can they win another one? Can LeBron be part of some true success? The second championship ever, in Denver there, You think about that. Then you think about Minnesota, two young guys, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards. Can they get some guidance from LeBron James, go win a championship in Minnesota? Crazy. Of course, you have all that. Miami, he's been there. The relationship with Pat Riley, they mentioned it seems repaired at this point, that it's stronger than it once was when he left out of Miami. A reminder, he did leave out of Miami 12 years ago, folks. We used to think about how that was very recent. That is over a decade now. He has been out of Miami. He's been in two different stops since. Back in Cleveland to LA and now wherever he goes next. Is it strong enough, the Pat Riley connection right now, to bring LeBron James back home? Home to him being Miami. Place he first won a championship. Two of them. Playing with Giannis, playing with Bam Adebayo. Is that enough? Or is the Cleveland aspect, is that the selling point? Coming back here for the third time. Being around a roster that isn't perfect. We've talked about it here on this network. It's not perfect, folks. A lineup with James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, and LeBron James, there's going to be some questions that have to be answered. I think the first question's, first off, going to be answered pretty easily when it's who controls the ball, who controls the offense. It's LeBron James. It's LeBron James. I've heard Rich Paul talk on his podcast about how, LeBron should be on a team where he can control the offense at points and times. And Max Kellerman even chiming in and saying, if he did that on the Lakers, maybe it's a different story at points in time with him and Luka. You wonder, who's going to control the ball? I wonder no more. If LeBron James is in town, he's controlling the offense. Of course, you'll have flashes where Donovan gets to run with the ball. Do we not remember Kyrie Irving here, folks? Kyrie Irving having that moment to run with the basketball, lead the offense, have some real Uncle Drew moments. But then when it was time to make sure we buckled down, we went on a run, we took care of business, created some sort of margin where the other team couldn't come back from, it was LeBron James dictating how the offense moved. So, of course, there's going to be some questions if LeBron were to come here. How does he fit in with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell? 1 ball, 3 ball-dominant players. I think that can sort itself out. What do we do with the spacing in the front court? Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. I mean, those are questions to be answered too. Do the Cavs want to continue to rock with Evan Mobley, follow his development? Reminder, 3rd overall pick from the Cavaliers. This is a homegrown guy. Jared Allen, not a homegrown guy. He's been here a majority of his career. Was not a Cavaliers draft pick. Wasn't homegrown. He's already kind of coming into his own in Brooklyn before he got over here. Of course, he's taken another leap or two since. It wasn't homegrown. Evan Mobley, somebody that Kobe Altman and company can say, we got him. We drafted him, and we're going to rock with him and see how it works out. Would that make them more prone to moving Jared Allen? And we talk about that all the time. guys like keeping on to who they technically invested into. And I know Allman had a hand in getting both those guys, but when you draft somebody, it's a little special there, right? So you think about, how the front court looks. Got me thinking, folks. And then I saw a picture earlier today. Draymond Green and LeBron James playing golf. I've seen other reports saying, Brandon Weems or other company, LeBron's friends were out there in golf. I saw the picture. First two that come to my mind, Draymond Green and LeBron James. Right there. Playing golf, enjoying themselves. And it's been awfully quiet for Draymond Green, wouldn't you think? Now here's somebody in Draymond Green, 4-time NBA champion, has always been around the best defensive player in terms of effort and being a menace. He's always being discussed as one of the best defenders in the league. You can argue about, at times in clutch or whatever. We can have the argument or debate a different day. But he's always somebody that's going to give you a ton of effort. He's always being heard. The technicals, we see those. The post-game interviews. He's on his own podcast now. We're definitely hearing Draymond Green. We know what's going on. We know how he feels about a call the other night during the season because you hear it on his podcast or you hear about it in post-game or whatever. So I find it very odd that we haven't heard too much out of Draymond Green since he declined his player option with the Golden State Warriors. And then the speculation we all remember started that LeBron is going to be a Warrior. They're going to go to get Anthony Davis, or they're going to bring Anthony Davis in. It's going to be Steph, Draymond, Anthony Davis, and LeBron. And then it kind of quieted down. Kristaps Porzingis signed a new deal, I believe worth $60 million. That kind of tightened the salary cap there for the Warriors. Not only does it make it more difficult to bring in somebody, make the money work with a contract like Anthony Davis, but makes a few other things difficult as well. Bringing LeBron James in, the guy you're going to get the big fish, you're going to get him here, and that's who you're after. That's why Draymond declined the player option. Not for all due respect, it was not for Kristaps Porzingis to sign a new lucrative deal, and pretty quickly at that. Maybe somebody didn't give Kristaps the heads up, or maybe somebody didn't give Draymond Green the heads up. A lot of different things we could think here. Would the Warriors keep him out of the loop on what they're trying to do? Are they trying to move on into a different light? They have moved on from Klay Thompson. I know that was crazy, and I know Klay had his injuries and whatnot. Could they move on from Draymond? Could it be Draymond's decision to say, hey, I'm out, man. I'm cool. I'm going wherever LeBron goes. If he ends up here, cool, I'll sign back here. We'll rock. I'll be in the Bay the rest of my career. I'll be a Warrior, and that's it. But what if LeBron says, Draymond, I'm going home. I'm going back to Cleveland. I'm finishing it out there. The trilogy. I think it'd be so cool if you came here with me. What would that do for Draymond Green? There's a lot to unpack there. I don't think we'll get to all of it tonight. But what would that do for Draymond Green? A guy that is, to this point, probably one of Cleveland's biggest villains. And I don't think that's an understatement. Joakim Noah has made some peace with the city over the last, 5 or 6 years or so. Coming and visiting Cleveland during the cold time in the winter. So it seems like he's kind of not so much on the bleep list anymore in terms of, being on Cleveland's nerves. But Draymond Green, when we think of guys that you can't really stand athlete-wise here in Cleveland, Draymond Green's at the top of that list. A guy that was a menace throughout the finals, was always chirping in somebody's ear, was just, at times, let's admit it, Cleveland was out being more physical than Kevin Love and some of these other guys. He was showing more physicality. He was out muscling the guys. He was somebody that was constantly making you hear about him during a run that the Cavaliers were trying to get their own titles. The Warriors ended up with 3 of those. We played in 4 of those against them. We ended up with 1. And yes, I love 2016's championship. I don't want it to get misconstrued. We've talked about it, a bunch of us here on the network. We've talked about the championship and how much it means to us. I don't want it to get misconstrued. 2016 is one of the best years of my life. That championship, one of the best moments I've ever, if not the best moment I've ever experienced in sports here as a Clevelander. But doesn't it sting sometimes when you do go back and look and go, you play the what-if game, and that's a dangerous game. But you play the what-if game. What if 2015, the injuries weren't there? What if Kevin Durant never signed there? What if? Well, now we're playing a bigger what-if game here in 2026. What if Draymond Green joins LeBron James here in Cleveland? Are you going to be open arms here for Draymond Green? Are you going to be excited? And because here's the thing, folks. The first thing, there's a couple things I want to get to. Number one is the toughness of this team is never going to be questioned again, at least not this season. You bring Draymond Green in, if it is a package deal, again, because you haven't heard so much from him, which makes me wonder, there's something already up their sleeves. His sleeve, Draymond's, LeBron's, Rich Paul, they all got something going on. Something's coming together here. I think we'll hear maybe as early as, today. It is past midnight, so maybe today here on this Friday before the weekend starts up. Maybe this is the weekend. We get to talk all weekend about this big move that happens, whether it's LeBron and company, whatever. But Draymond not having any noise, there not being any discussion about the Warriors just bringing him back, saying at least let's make sure we secure Draymond Green, makes me think, is he coming here to Cleveland? Is he coming here? And again, it brings a toughness immediately to the forefront. You can hate Draymond Green all you want, can't stand him, whatever. He's going to make somebody feel the presence of the Cavaliers wherever he's at on the court because he just doesn't take the nonsense. And yes, of course, you can say he creates some of the nonsense, but he does not, he's not one of those guys that just stops and allows you to force you to play his game of your game of basketball. He's going to make you feel him. He's going to make you kind of convert into how the Cavaliers in this hypothetical would play basketball. Not to mention if he is the piece, and that was what I wrote down earlier when I wrote the rundown, and I had it all ready to go. Is Draymond Green the piece that brings LeBron James back to Cleveland? If he is, you get toughness with Draymond Green. You get that. Somebody that can still pass the ball, move throughout the passing lanes. He's going to be physical on the boards. He's not going to bring you maybe 15, 16 boards, but he's going to bring you some very quality rebounds. And he's not going to quit on you. That's for certain. We had a lot of talks after the Eastern Conference Finals about the Cavs at times looking like they just gave up. That won't happen with Draymond Green here. Certainly won't happen if LeBron James is here, which is the only reason Draymond Green would ever be in a Cleveland uniform. He wants to team up with his bud LeBron James. If it ain't going to happen in Golden State, maybe he does say, it's been fun, but I feel the friction here with Steve Kerr as much as I love him. I just think it's time to go into a different era. He's been talking about it. If you've heard some of his podcast quotes, heard some of his mentions in some of these interviews, he's trying to get the next era of Golden State Warriors basketball ready. Maybe he's already mentally prepared before the option was declined and all of this that he's done in Golden State. He's going where Bron goes. If it is Miami and everybody gets surprised, or Philadelphia, I think Draymond Green may be the package deal. We've been talking about whether it was Giannis and LeBron as the package deal. Would Jaylen Brown be the guy that makes LeBron move to whatever city he's at? We talked to Anthony Davis. The Wizards don't seem to be budging on that. Is it Draymond Green? All along. It's been right there since the beginning of free agency. He declined the player option. We kind of just brushed it under the rug. Well, Draymond will be a Warrior. But what if he isn't? What if he is not a Golden State Warrior? What if he is the next co-host or whatever, teammate of LeBron James? You get toughness. You get NBA championship experience along with securing LeBron James, if that is, who needs to bring him in, if it is Draymond, you secure LeBron James, you get the king back in town one more time. He brings all of his knowledge. He's still playing at a pretty damn good level in his 40s. Can't really be mad at it, Does it limit you cap-wise after that? Yeah, I don't know how much we're looking into, DeMar DeRozan or, I know Kuminga's more of a sign and trade option. I know the Cavaliers are looking to get off of that cap space right now, open up some cap space, get off some of that salary, that is, with Max Strus or Dennis Schroeder. Maybe they get Kuminga that way. It's interesting, but I just thought, man, with everything starting to circulate and the news starting to get a little more buzzworthy, why is Draymond with LeBron around the time LeBron makes his decisions? Maybe so they can have a celebratory glass of wine? Who knows? Keep an eye on all of it. LeBron watch is still moving forward. We'll know here soon, I think, folks. I do. July 11th is the latest LeBron has made his decision. We are on July 10th. So I think we may have an answer before the weekend. I think, maybe in your Friday news cycle here today. Later on, of course, But we are in the midnight hour. This is Midnight Run here with Anthony Alford, who is on vacation, taking care of some things. And he will be back with you next week, our program director and our bro. We appreciate him. Cannot wait to have him back in the fold. We appreciate you. I'm Eli Moon, filling in for AA. Hope you've enjoyed so far. When we come back, we're going to talk about the MLB. The streaming rights and the pitch clock, which I think has been pretty good, but some people aren't a fan. And other things that have happened here in baseball. Why is the 2026 MLB All-Star Break one of the most important times of the 2020s? We'll talk about that when we come back. And then later on, I'll give you my way too early Super Bowl teams. Why the Patriots and the Seahawks won't make it back, and who we will see in February. I'm not trying to think about the cold, but I do love some football. We'll talk about that later on in the show. This is Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. I'm Eli Moon, filling in for the evening here on the Inside Edge Network. We're back right after this.
Key On Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Key On Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Key On Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keyonsports.com or on YouTube at Key On Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the SportsMemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to SportsMemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. SportsMemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And welcome back to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Anthony Alford, typically sitting not in this chair, but his chair at his studio, and he's got nice lights behind him. He'll be back with you next week, taking care of some things. We are thinking of our bro. We cannot wait to have him back in the saddle, saddle adjacent here with us, with all of you here on Midnight on Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. I'm Eli Moon, filling in for Double A. Hope you've been enjoying so far. Kyle Cornell, I want to give a thanks to the bro. Doing Monday and Tuesday here with you. Giving a very fun twist on his version of Unhinged Sports Talk. And I thought he did a pretty good job. I thought he was not too unhinged. The studio stayed intact, and that's a great thing. I'm here with you. I was here with you yesterday. I'll be here with you today, clearly. We're halfway through the show. And then I'm with you tomorrow as well. I will be on vacation next week. Where am I going? The Casa de Moon. That's where I'll be. I'll just be catching up on some sleep, getting recharged. I'll be getting ready for a big summer, rest of the summer here with all of you. And we appreciate you. If you're tuning in for the first time, or if you've been here before, hello. But make sure you like, subscribe, follow at Inside Edge Net on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch. All the socials. Make sure you smash that notification bell so you know when we're going live. 4 great daily programs here for you on Filtered, Inside Edge Primetime, The Daily Spiral, and Midnight Run. And then, of course, all of our great weekly programming. You can read about all the great personalities at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go over to our partners page. Check out them. A lot of great deals there. We couldn't do without them. Fanatics.com, AlleyRoseFragrances.com, W Energy, Monster Moments, SportsMemorabilia.com, and Omega Video Marketing. We appreciate all of them, and we appreciate you. So go over to the merchandise store. That's right, you at home. Go to the merchandise store. Rep Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. We appreciate you so much. So go check out the website. Go check out the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Cannot forget about that as well. We're on Roku, Inside Edge Network app. Take us wherever you'd like to go. All right, folks. A little weird when I'm driving the ship, and I'm the only one here. There's no co-pilot. Sometimes nobody check me, telling me I'm going too fast. Too much gas on the gas mobile, whatever they want to call it. All right, let's get back into it. MLB, the All-Star Break. Yes. It is coming up, and if you've been a Guardians fan, hopefully you've been a Guardians fan longer than the last 40 games, 50 games or so. But if you're a Guardians fan, you've been following that the Guards are currently in a battle for the AL Central. Kind of crazy, right? Even saying those words right now kind of has me baffled because nobody thought when the Guardians started running away with this division, or so we thought back in May, that, hey, this is going to be a struggle. And the Chicago White Sox, who Chad and I have talked about on Primetime, are a young team. They have some promise, but they moved off Luis Robert in the offseason. They moved off of some of these other big names that they've had on their roster. And would this be the year? Well, it seems like so far it has been the year. Now, granted, and Chad and I talked about this before the show, the White Sox got swept by the Red Sox. The Guards are even. Right now, they're even with the White Sox for first in the AL Central. So they're jockeying. They're trying to get there. And that's a fun race to keep an eye on because we talked about yesterday on Primetime that if the Guardians don't win the Central, there's a chance they miss the playoffs. Don't look now. Now, I know the Rays and the Yankees, that's for sure probably going to be 2 playoff teams right there. You got your division winner, more than likely right now the Rays. The Yankees will get Judge back here, it seems like, before the end of the season. The regular season, that is, and we'll see what kind of push they make. You have the Rangers and whoever wins the Central, which right now the Guards are tied again. But you have the Mariners, who seem like they're finally getting it together. Their offense has been spotty at times. Pitching hasn't been superb. But they're finding a way to get it done. And let's see how their second half looks. And the Astros, Yordan Alvarez has popped out of nowhere in terms of an MVP favorite. Or in that discussion, at the very least. This was a guy who was in trade rumors. The Astros were going to look to sell. They were finally going to move off of some of these guys that have been with the team for a long time. And don't look now, but the Astros making a run for the wild card here, 46 and 49. They're a team to keep an eye on in that second half. A lot of fun stories, of course. You look in the Central, it's disappointing the Royals. If you're a Royals fan, not necessarily disappointing for me as a Guardians fan, but as a baseball fan, it sucks to see the Royals down there in the cellar of the Central. You got Bobby Witt there, a young star in Kansas City. You look at Baltimore, the same kind of ordeal. In the East, you have Gunnar Henderson there in Baltimore. Pete Alonso just left the Mets to go there. The polar bear. Hasn't been really good there. Yeah, but you look at some of these guys, look at some of these names, and it got me thinking, okay, All-Star Break, July 13th of course, 2026. July 13th to July 16th, 2026. It's the 96th Midsummer Classic. Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Very fitting. Pop Moon brought it up yesterday. Chad had a Way Back Wednesday. We had Way Back Wednesday, and the Liberty Bell was in there. Well, look, they're in Philadelphia. How about that? I think this All-Star Break's pretty important, folks. And yes, of course, anytime you're in front of national TV, you're able to expose yourself to a larger audience, grow the viewership. it's a great opportunity. But baseball has dropped the ball in a few different ways over the last decade or so. Let's not forget, the rights ordeal, where you can't post on Twitter. The MLB is lurking if you're posting. And it seems like it gets a little bit more lenient. I see a clip sneak through here and there, get a little convenient with it, or get a little crafty with it. You're not really seeing clips of baseball like you do with the NFL, with the NBA, with the NHL, with soccer, with FIFA, with the World Cup. You just don't see that. Now you mix in all the way to today, where streaming takes over quite a bit of games. There was a full game of MLB games the other day. I believe it was over the weekend. Sunday, it may have been Monday, it may have been the beginning of the week. All the games were on Peacock. Now, as somebody who has Peacock, I'm not complaining too much because I have the opportunity to watch the games, but imagine if I didn't. I can't watch any baseball all day. Now, okay, you're probably sitting here thinking, okay, Eli, who cares? It's beginning of July. Baseball, hasn't even hit the All-Star break officially. Hasn't hit the trade deadline. Why are you trying to watch baseball? But it goes bigger than that. And earlier tonight, Chad and I were talking on Primetime about the expansion of soccer here in the United States. And why we don't have more of an interest, more of a liking to the sport. You could say the cost. It costs an arm and a leg for almost any sport nowadays, on top of tuition if your kids go to a private school, and you got to pay that school tuition on top of the athletics. I get it. So money is definitely a big thing, but also making it available. I'm not saying that you're going to get an influx of Americans that watch, for example, when we were talking soccer earlier, a 6 a.m. soccer match. The first year or two it's here, but the more it becomes available, the more it becomes a norm, the more people start to flock to it. You develop an audience. That's how you create growth. Like anything. I'm in music. I'm an artist. I also, I believe that I'm a community creator. I put shows on here in the city and out of state. It's the same thing. Like, people don't know what's available to them until you start making it a norm. People didn't know you could get longer sets and get paid for performing and be in a position where you can actually grow an audience. Until people started opening those doors. Whether myself or, other people that have taken on these types of responsibilities in the music world. You got to make it available. You got to let people know what's out there. People don't know about the fascinating world of soccer and the Mbappes and, of course, Messi and Ronaldo's been discussed, but why aren't we talking more about the Mbappes, the Erling Haalands from Norway? Why aren't we talking about these guys? Because it's not available. You may see it on a tweet. You may see something funny. You see them every 4 years in the World Cup, and that's their career to most Americans. Crazy enough, baseball, which is Major League Baseball is based in the States. It feels like we get just as much buzz on social media at times about baseball that we do about soccer. Now, I'm not here, and this is not a which one should get more buzz. Should we fight baseball fans over soccer fans over soccer? No, everybody get along. Both sports should be respected and put in this light. But I believe where soccer at least gets the love on the European level and other continents are showing that. And I think we just got to step up here in the United States if we want better results. Baseball is just showing a pure neglect where the most important league, and respect all the other leagues, but in terms of stature and name brand and everything else, Major League Baseball is the most important baseball league in the world. And we talk about other leagues and other sports and whatnot, but when it comes to baseball and a few other sports, it's here in the States. And it's so impossible to be able to see what's going on with some of your favorite teams, for example. They make it impossible to see other teams, the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, the Diamondbacks, the Braves, any of them. But it's damn near impossible to see your favorite team. Got to pay $20 a month for, I believe it's still $20 a month. Someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, or text me. You got my number, text me. But $20 a month. I just had to process that. $20 a month to watch the Guardians monthly. And I know it's $20. I get it, it's $20. With everything else that you're having to come out of pocket for now and everything going up, we're making it to where baseball, just to watch it, not even play it anymore. Where we just talked about the expenses for soccer and for baseball and for all these sports. But not even just to play it. Now you got to pay an expense to get what you would typically get 15, 20 years ago. You had Sports Time Ohio. You had your channel you tuned on if you were a Guardians or back then an Indians fan. You would watch your baseball. You'd be able to watch it. You watch other games. You can get MLB TV. Sometimes they threw that in for some cable companies. Now you got to, here's $5 here, $5 here. Here's $20 to watch my favorite team. If I want to watch my second favorite team, here's another $30. And it's a problem. So streaming's a big worry and concern of mine. I don't think there's a problem with making certain things exclusive. Okay? If you want to make opening night and certain events, Yankees and Red Sox for the first time of the year on Peacock or wherever you want to have it on, so be it. So be it. But there's certain things that we should be making a little bit more available to a wider audience. Wasn't that the whole purpose? And this is a different rant probably for a different show, but when streaming was introduced, it was to make things easier on the consumer. You get everything at your fingertips. You're paying less. But now if you add up all these streaming, where you got to go catch opening night in baseball, and if you want to catch the World Series, and make sure you have your stuff for NBA playoffs later on, when the calendar year swings back to around that time, and you're going to want to watch Thursday night football, right? It starts to add up. It gets crazy. Baseball's running into a bad trap of that because they're already in a lot of streaming situations when it comes to that. And that makes it hard for people to watch. Some of these young players I've mentioned that really should be getting more shine. That's why this 13th to the 16th, this run here of the All-Star Break is so, so important. A lockout's impending at the end of the year. The owners and the players are not getting along. If you've been following along, the salary cap discussion, the floor, the ceiling, the cap, the actual cap of salary here, how much you can pay these players, stretching out contracts, it's all being discussed. There's a lot of things on the table. That's the big one, though, the money. Is the money going to make sense? Who's going to tell who what they can do with their money? Probably going to be a long debate, folks. Probably not getting baseball in 2027. That's just the reality. So with baseball knowing that, and yeah, okay, they can be naive, and they can say, oh, well, there's a way we fix this. We're 6 months away. We got 3 months, July, August, September, October. We got 4 months left in the season. Counting, the end of the World Series. May go into the beginning of November, but roughly the end of October. This stretch right here, you have the 10th, the 11th, beforehand, where, you have the HBCU Swingman Classic at Citizens Bank Park. The 11th, to the 14th, you have the All-Star Village. People can go congregate. The 12th, the All-Star Futures Game, an HBCU 3-on-3 action. The Home Run Derby on the 13th, following Monday, and then the All-Star Game, the MLB All-Star Game. Tuesday, July 14th, it's on Fox. I know some people don't get Fox, but a lot of people do. And this is an opportunity for baseball to not only highlight the current stars, the guys that have been doing this and deserve some shine, but the future stars of this league. I was talking to Chad before the show, earlier on, before Primetime, a few hours ago, about, Ronald Acuna when he's healthy. That's a guy they should put some shine on. Bobby Witt Jr., Travis Bazzana here in Cleveland, just guys you think about that should be getting some more love, should be household names. How do you develop more love for a sport? How do you see some sort of renaissance in baseball? And I think it is getting more exposure, more popularity than maybe 5 or 6 years ago, where it was kind of a non-factor, a non-discussion. I think you create more eyes and more looks on baseball by creating household names, people that can attach to these guys and go, I want to be like so-and-so when I grow up. I want to model my baseball game just like them. I want to play baseball. I want to be a second baseman just like Travis Bazzana. That's what somebody should be, that's what Major League Baseball should be wanting somebody to say after this All-Star, festivities are over. Back in the day, it sounds so old. I'm 20, I'll be 29 at the end of the month here. But, when I was growing up, in my early, years, in my teenage years, I can name you at least half the field of the Home Run Derby. I can name you some All-Star starters. I love baseball. It's impossible to do so nowadays. You can't follow the game as much as you could because of what we just already talked about with streaming and the lack of accessibility on social media with the clips and everything like that. So this All-Star break is so important. How can you highlight some of the home run hitters? Home runs get people excited very clearly and very fast here in baseball. How can you get some excitement there? How can you get some excitement on some of the young stars, the rising stars, the now of baseball? So when a lockout, if it does happen, which seems likely, and you got to come back in 2028, you don't have zero momentum. You have some momentum to roll in with. You can come back and market immediately. Hey, do you remember Bobby Witt? He's here still. You remember Travis Bazzana? He's here still. You remember all of these guys? You know, they're going to remember the Otanis, the Judge of the world. They're in big cities. But baseball's got to do a better job marketing their entire league to get more people interested in the product. And this All-Star Break is going to be very, very imperative. It's one of the last times on a national scope to really draw some eyes. People are going to be tuning in. It's the Midsummer Classic. People are going to want to watch something on a Monday and a Tuesday night. What else but the Home Run Derby and the All-Star Game? It'll be on Fox. Most people get it. It's a great opportunity for them. And then, of course, they'll have that playoff run, and it should be another good MLB playoffs. You know, see how the field shapes up. But these are their big moments to make sure people don't forget about baseball. Don't want to forget about baseball with a lockout. It's the last thing you want. So we'll keep an eye on it. I think this All-Star break's pretty important for Major League Baseball. But we're going to take a quick pause here, folks. When we come back, we are going to get into the Super Bowl. I know it may seem out of reach here right now for Cleveland. Probably about at least 3 or 4 years away. That's what we've been saying on the network. You know, at least 3 to 4 years for the competitive. And competitive to me means, you know, that means we could turn on the Super Bowl discussion. So we'll wait, you know, maybe a few years for that. But what we will talk about is why the Patriots and the Seahawks, they're out. They ain't coming back and repeating. You know, no repeat in Seattle. New England's not getting back there. Who does get back there? Who is going to be competing for the Lombardi Trophy? And who do I think wins the Super Bowl this upcoming year? I know, crazy talk here in July, but it's my birthday month. I can kind of do what I want, if that's all right with all of you. We're going to talk about some February results in a July evening here on Midnight Run with Anthony Alford, who will be back with you next week. I'm Eli Moon filling in here on the Inside Edge Network. We're back right after this.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And welcome back to Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. Eli Moon filling in for AA Anthony Alford, who will be back with you next week. Back ready to rock. Talked to him earlier today. He is ready to give you some on-hand sports talk here at the midnight hour next week. But I'm back here with you from the break. Be with you tomorrow as well. Get you into your weekend. May have some LeBron news by then. Isn't that crazy to think about? May have some LeBron news. Crazy to think about. If you're here for the first time, if you've been here before, make sure you like, subscribe, follow at Inside Edge Net. Words are hard sometimes, but at YouTube X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Make sure you smash that notification bell. Know when we're live, when we're going live, so you can rock out with us here daily and weekly on the Inside Edge Network. Check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Read about your favorite personalities. Check out our partners page. A lot of great deals there. Cannot do it without them. Couldn't do it without you. So go to our merchandise store, grab something nice, whether it's a shirt, a hat, a mug, a polo, a windbreaker. Rep Cleveland's digital leader, your source for sports, entertainment, mental health conversations, news, and everything in between. And download the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. We're on Roku, so take us wherever you're going. Take us with you. Download the Inside Edge Network app over there on Roku. All right, a few minutes left in the show. And I'll probably revisit this a little bit more either tomorrow on Midnight Run or on Primetime. And I'll rope Chad into some of my nonsense. But isn't it clear to everybody at this point? I know. Week 1 hasn't started. Preseason hasn't even started. You know, it's crazy to think we already have the formula of how this season's going to go. New England Patriots, Seattle Seahawks, they were your representatives, our representatives here as NFL fans for the Super Bowl, and the Seahawks hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Sam Darnold getting past every ghost he could run past. Really tackled, bull rushed them to a championship. And Kyle Cornell and Von Filtered here, weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. Back with you after his vacation this week. He'll be back next week here on the Inside Edge Network. Talked about Sam Darnold and talked about how he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't dispute that. I think you got to give the man his flowers. He's put together some solid seasons, in Minnesota and going over to Seattle and doing his thing there, winning a championship. But there's some flaws, Kenneth Walker going over to Kansas City, losing the Super Bowl MVP, and I know running backs aren't necessarily the most valued position in the NFL. However, it's a pretty big loss, man. It's something you got to think about. The two-headed horse of him and Charbonnet. Now it is Charbonnet. They're adding to that running back room, but is it going to be enough? We'll keep an eye there. New England's had their own plethora of issues and news this offseason. The Mike Vrabel, Diana Rossini stuff that we won't get into tonight. Won't do it. Now with a few minutes left in the show. Can't do it. Won't do it. A.J. Brown being a Patriot now, the worst kept secret in the NFL this offseason. Then, of course, you have the Stephon Diggs stuff that was before. A.J. Brown getting there, moving on from Stephon Diggs and all of that. It's a bunch of news. Crazy to think they would get back to the Super Bowl, right? Of course, Drake May, he's had a standout second season. He was in MVP discussion. It was either him or Matt Stafford. Of course, Matt Stafford wins it. Drake May finishes second. Finished second in the Super Bowl. Now we're wondering, how is he going to rebound? He's getting a true number one in A.J. Brown. I'll give him that, but I'm not as high as others on Drake May and the Patriots this upcoming season. And for the Seahawks, it was nice. I think, they kept most of their core together, but I think losing Kenneth Walker is going to be a big deal there. They play in a tough division. The NFC West is a beast. You got the Rams, you got the 49ers, you got these teams really could make some noise. And Cardinals, you got the Cardinals. All right, here's where I'm at. With the NFC, now if we remember about 4 or 5 years ago when the Cincinnati Bengals win the Super Bowl. against who? The Los Angeles Rams. The Rams obviously had a little bit of homegrown talent, but it was primarily a lot of guys brought in for the right price, right? Draft picks via trade, free agency, whatever. Had Aaron Donald, the force on defense. Had Matt Stafford on offense, leading the way. Odell Beckham Jr. before the plethora of injuries that really happened after that, and of course him getting hurt in the Super Bowl. But you had Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Just a very fun team. But a team that definitely had some big playmakers that were brought in, bought, acquired to come in to play in Los Angeles. Jalen Ramsey. Some of these guys that the Rams knew what they were doing. They said, who cares about those draft picks? Kind of done that again. Traded away one of the only guys they have drafted with the draft pick. Sent him to Cleveland here. Jared Verse. And they get Myles Garrett. So until somebody can give me a reason why the Rams won't go to the Super Bowl, I got the Rams in the Super Bowl right now. Myles Garrett, that's enough on defense before you even start throwing in some of the other guys they have on that defense. And you got Trent McDuffie there now from Kansas City. Los Angeles is going to be a problem. Puka Nacua, I know he's had his offseason troubles. We'll see what he does. They're going to be a problem, folks. Matt Stafford, we talk about, what does LeBron want to do in the final of his, finale of his career. What does Matt Stafford want to do? I'd imagine both of those guys, the answer is win one more at least. Matt Stafford's in a good position to do so in that NFC. So I'd have the Rams right there in the NFC. And then in the AFC, if it wasn't as clear as day to you, I'll spell it out. CHIEFS. My goodness, it's midnight. I really almost chanced myself there into becoming a really bad clip for Unfiltered. But with that being said, it is the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been waiting for some underdog story. They've tried to manufacture it. Hey, we're dealing with a 2-game, losing streak. We have the underdog story that we're waiting for. Patrick Mahomes didn't throw for 5 touchdowns. He threw for 3. It's not really the underdog story, right? But now, you see with Patrick Mahomes, you see the injury, people writing him off. Is he going to be elite again? That's crazy to think about. We're having that discussion. I understand he's getting a little bit older, but is he going to be elite again? I just can't stop thinking about all the times we've seen this guy in big games. Again, he's 30, he'll be 31 in September. All the times he's been in big games. And one injury is going to be the end of Patrick Mahomes being elite. I just can't buy it. So you have all that doubt mixed in. Discussion about Andy Reid now. He's won multiple Super Bowls with the Chiefs, but now we're having discussions about Andy Reid. Is he near the end of his coaching career? Is he getting passed by, by the game now at this point? And then, of course, Travis Kelce's in the news. He got married to Taylor Swift at Madison Square Garden. You look at, listen to some people, it sounds like, Travis Kelce, they're painting it to be he's checked out of the game. That's a discussion. He's preparing for life after football. So you wanted an underdog story. Kansas City, you got one. The world's doubting your quarterback who's won multiple championships, your coach who's won multiple championships, your tight end who's won multiple championships. Arguably 2 of the best at their positions. And coaching-wise, Andy Reid's got to be in the discussion, at least top 20. At least top 20. We started having discussions about top 10 and all that, but Andy Reid definitely deserves some respect. Patrick Mahomes deserves respect. Travis Kelce deserves respect. That's coming from a Browns fan who had to watch as we blew a divisional round game against them to maybe get to a Super Bowl. I'm over it. But you see, this is what they've been waiting for, the underdog story, and it's painted out. And with a AFC that, we talked about our main event, we talked about it across the network here on the Inside Edge Network. We talked about this is the chance, this past postseason, for these AFC teams. Trevor Lawrence, for Josh Allen, that's a big discussion. For, some of these other names to make a jump. Bo Nix, Drake May. Drake May gets to the Super Bowl. He was the guy to get through with New England, but did anybody really create some separation, establish themselves as the next in line, to knock the Chiefs out of their spot? I don't think so, folks. I don't think so. I think we're gearing up for another Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl run. Does he win one against the Rams, which is who I have right now in the NFC? I don't know. If I had to pick today, probably lean towards the Rams, but This is Patrick Mahomes' AFC again, folks. He's gearing up to get ready for week 1. If he's ready for week 1, expect maybe a slump the first week or so, maybe that second week, and then it's all systems go. They're waiting to hear back about the news from Rashee Rice when he'll be available for the team. Of course, you got to monitor that, but the Chiefs, we mentioned Kenneth Walker. Where'd he go? From Seattle to Kansas City. They have an established running back. They have guys to help Patrick Mahomes ease him back into playing at an elite level. So that's it. We won't have a repeat, same 2 teams. It won't be Patriots, Seahawks. In fact, I think the Patriots are going to be fighting, they may go above 500. I don't see it, though. I don't. I see them below 500. A lot of issues right now in that locker room. A lot of murmurs, a lot of changes. I don't see it. For the Seahawks, they may make the playoffs again. I could definitely see that under Sam Darnold, Mike McDonald. I can see that. I just don't think they go on the magical run that they did this past season. Think it's Chiefs, think it's Rams. And if I'm wrong, hey, wouldn't be the first time, but I feel pretty good about that one. And that's going to do it. I feel pretty good about us rocking and rolling for the last 3 hours. Hope you enjoyed from Inside Edge Primetime with Chad Bryan and myself at the 10 o'clock hour. The Daily Spiral with Autumn Chisholm and Chad Bryan at the 11 o'clock hour. And then, of course, I was here with you, filling in for Double A Anthony Alford on Midnight Run, rocking and rolling. We appreciate you so much. You are the heartbeat that keeps us going. Thank you for rocking with us. We're back tomorrow, of course, unfiltered, on vacation until next week. But we'll have some fresh, unfiltered replays. I say fresh because if you haven't seen them before, they're fresh to you. Go check them out throughout the day. Some other programming as well we'll have running up until this evening block with Inside Edge Primetime, with the Daily Spiral, with Midnight Run. And then, of course, we'll get into your weekend. Got weekly programming for you and get back after it on Monday. Appreciate all of you out there. Make sure, again, like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all the socials. That really helps us a ton. And helps you know when we're going live so we can all converse together and have a great conversation about whatever it is we're talking about. Go check out the shop at InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Go read about all your favorite personalities. And, of course, go check out our partners page. A lot of great deals there. And download that Inside Edge Network app on Roku. Take us wherever. You don't have to worry about, dang, I left my laptop at home. Crazy. But I left my laptop at home and now I can't, I can't take it with you. I'm in a spot. You got the phone. You can download the Roku app. You're good to go. You got the Inside Edge Network app on Roku. All right, that's it for me. I think I'm starting to get slap happy. I'll be with you again tomorrow starting at 10 p.m. For everybody here on the Inside Edge Network. For Chad Bryan, for Autumn Chisholm, for Kyle Cordell on vacation, for all of our great weekly programming, Papa Moon, Ryan Moss, or Kevin Arnold, Rob Rizicki. We appreciate all you. TK Dandridge. I think I named everybody. I think I did a pretty good job there, Double A. I think you'd be very, very proud of me. And, of course, for Double A Anthony Alford, our program director, our bro, who we are thinking of, we cannot wait to have